Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-568-2790. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-568-2790. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-568-2790 or biglou.com.
Time.
A lot of virgins working in one room together. A lot can be accomplished.
Hahn.
I just got excited.
And Rosenberg.
Alan just expressed theoretical arousal about the Dolly Parton puppet.
This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
3:01 in the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg till 6:30. Then it's Rangers hockey. Rangers and the Flames. Another gorgeous day in NYC. How's everybody doing?
How you doing?
Microphone on.
Hi.
Hello.
I mean, how do we know it was nice out? Not like we went on the roof or anything.
Again, why Alan is a really intelligent guy and an outstanding and talented host.
That's nice.
But sometimes things don't stick. There are no cushions in the seats on the roof. I'm not going to go to the roof and just and squat.
Yeah,
If I can't sit and luxuriate and sit down and hang with my buddies and talk about the show, if I'm going to have to stand around like it's some cocktail hour or sit on a bench with no cushion on, I'll just
good.
like a gentleman go to the 5th floor
We're all
and
set.
do what we did for the last 3 months.
Right. Look out the window and just see other people enjoying the
Why?
life.
It's weird. He
not
doesn't
weird.
get it.
Well, why
It's
didn't
not
he?
weird.
He should have shown us something and just went up on his own.
Yeah,
I thought
he
about
does.
That's what I did yesterday.
And Don may or may not have gone.
There's a picnic table. There's a bench. You don't have to have the cushions.
I think
We don't have to be that bougie. It's not that warm.
where's the sun right now?
It's in the sky.
Because I just walked with Maya on Broadway, literally just like 5 or 6 blocks in back, and the beating down on my bald head was strong.
You felt it?
Oh, it was annoying.
I think
It was
we're at
all right.
we're probably at a UV. What do you think, UV? 7?
I don't know what the UV is.
6,
but
7?
It was enough that sitting outside, if you don't have a nice little shade situation,
Yeah.
I
felt
get
good
it. But still, another beautiful day.
I'll take it.
in the neighborhood.
And, just you don't mind driving in, roll the window down, cranking the tunes.
Oh, yeah.
Look at you.
Now, unfortunately, it's only March 10th. The 1-year anniversary, by the way. Peter, I don't know if you're aware of this.
Of what?
Or Alan, if you're aware. 1 year ago today was our first day in these studios. Remember when we
That's
cut
1 year today?
Yeah.
Well, I love what
We
we've done
cut
with
the
the
ribbon
place.
and everything, remember?
I love what we've done. The place.
We got a jersey up,
Yeah.
and we got a new coffee machine.
Ooh.
But you know what? It's a year. Boy, it goes fast, right?
1 year since we've been in this building.
Yeah.
I can't decide if I think that's been fast or not.
I think it's been fast.
Like, I feel like we've been here for a while. I'm kind of the opposite side at this point.
Okay.
What do you think, Alan? You think it feels like, oh my God, I can't believe it's been a year, or only a year?
No.
You
it
think it's
feels
fast?
about right.
Or about right?
Yeah, I don't think it's fast, and I don't think it's only. I think we're just it's about right.
It's a year.
It's a year.
I mean, yeah, it's about right.
So Maya was born when we made the move then.
Yeah, Maya, I guess, was what day is today?
The 10th.
She's almost 2 months old when we made the move. Now today she's walking around putting the ball through the hoop on her own.
Love it.
Starting to jam it a little bit.
Can she play for the Knicks? Because they're struggling with that lately.
Yeah. Noel, can they lower the foot to 2 feet?
We can work on that.
The what now?
She
What did
probably
I say?
the foot.
The
No.
foot to 2 feet.
Yeah, we can lower the foot to 2 feet.
All right, we'll be
no.
doing that later. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lower the hoop.
Yes. Yeah.
That was Richard yesterday, Alan. You missed out.
Yesterday was a good show.
We did a lot.
That was a lot of fun.
Oh, here we go. You know where this is going, Don.
I don't know how to handle it, but it's weird. It's like I got to take my shoes off if I'm going to talk to Alan.
What?
I might step on.
No!
Alan, you missed this.
That was too easy.
Alan,
Come
you
on.
missed this.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same
Again?
sweet number.
Don on roll.
No, it was fake. It was fake.
Oh, okay.
It was
an honor.
homage. It was homage.
It was
I
an honor.
thought you got caught too.
No.
You mean the classic?
$25 a month.
Don
It's
on Rosenberg
embarrassing.
with you until
Did I
7.
listening to the song
Get
now?
Optimum famously fast.
You know
But
what?
Optum was getting a
You
lot
thought,
of play out of this commercial.
Honestly, our Fight Friday was you believing I disrespected hip hop.
Yeah.
I way more disrespected hip hop.
No, it's
stepping on.
You know
thinking
what?
that's it.
You know what?
You should have called me a
By the
moron
way,
last week.
That's point God.
You know what?
He thought this was like a real, like maybe the kids are listening to this.
$25 a month.
Don on Rosenberg with you until
That's way more.
Oh my God!
Wow.
You know what?
When did that single come out, by the way? Like, what's
25 a month?
If we were fighting over that and you called me a moron, I'd be like, you know what? I agree.
Yeah, you know. How could you say anything else?
So
Wow.
that way more disrespected hip hop. It shouldn't be a big deal, but it is. But Geno Smith is back. Who said you can't come home again? Geno Smith, drafted by the Jets so long ago, is now coming back to the Jets. Jets send the Raiders a sixth-round pick, and in exchange they get Geno Smith and a seventh-round pick. They also get the Raiders to absorb some of the money, I believe. And I'm looking at Adam Schefter here to get all the details on that. And people are like, I'm outraged. I'm already going to see phone calls out there. I hate it, or maybe you love it. The fact is, this is, who is the handsomest person in an ugly contest? There weren't a lot of great options. And when you see, maybe you kick the can on the Tua. No, you can't. He went to Atlanta. Oh, maybe you do this, maybe you do that. All the other options were gone. All that was left, I guess, is Cousins, who's now made it clear again, apparently. He doesn't want to go play for the Jets. So it's Geno Smith, it's Carson Wentz. I can't imagine, Alan, you're the resident Jet fan. You're going to get excited about anybody at this state that you were going to be able to bring in, right?
No,
so why not Geno?
Right. Well, again, there was no obvious answer, right? There was nothing out there that you could get. And anybody that was at least capable of giving you quality quarterbacking, and who would that be? Kyler Murray? You know what I mean? Like that wasn't appealing anyway. Why do you think they made the trade for Geno when they could have just waited for him to be cut? Why do you think they traded? And all they did was, here, you take a 6, I'll take your 7.
Right.
It's a wash. Why'd they do it?
I don't know.
Because they probably would have had a hard time signing Geno too. That's why. Because he would have had options. Other teams. I'm telling you, that's the fear as the Jets. I didn't want competition. I didn't want to have to worry that I don't have a quarterback when the music stops. I don't have anywhere to sit. So I'll do the 7th and 6th pick swap, and I'll guarantee I get him. That's why this is a trade instead of waiting to sign him.
I understand. He's not great. He's 30. What is he? 36 years old.
Yeah,
he's going to be 36 years old
during the season.
Yeah, during the season, October 10th, he will be 36 years old. All right.
The Jets didn't have anyone to play quarterback.
And I know you were of the opinion that, all right, good. Now we'll lose games and we'll get our quarterback in the draft.
Yeah.
I don't think Geno Smith is very good, but I don't think he's as bad as people think. I mean, last year he was on a team that was the worst team in the NFL.
And they had no offensive line.
All right. He threw for 3,000 yards, 19 touchdowns. He did lead the league in interceptions with 17. Okay, but he still threw more touchdowns than interceptions. Still threw for 3,000 yards. And by the way, had a 67.4% completion percentage. All right.
Which is his career. That's why he's better than Fields, because his completion percentage is always in the 60s.
So you go to Seattle, all right, which was a good team. He completed 70.4% of his passes, threw for 4,300 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Again, interceptions a problem, 15 interceptions, 21 touchdowns.
It's always been his problem.
But he's gone to a Pro Bowl a couple of times. He's not a great quarterback, and he's certainly not getting better. But of the options, I would rather have Geno Smith than Carson Wentz.
You might have both.
And you may have both, right? And Geno would win the job. But I really don't know. When we had the list of guys, Geno Smith was probably near the bottom of the list, but was there really a big difference between any of them? Would you be high-fiving people if Kirk Cousins was coming?
No.
Would you be high-fiving people if they signed Tua yesterday?
No.
Instead of Atlanta?
Absolutely not.
Well, it depends how. What did he sign for? Is it like minimum?
Well, Tua?
Yeah.
It was just the 1 year. It can't be for a lot
But
of
they
money.
ate the money. Miami ate $90 million.
Yeah.
So it's basically for nothing.
The only way you could do
So it's vet minimum. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Let me just say.
And the Raiders are going to eat the money too. So you're getting Geno for nothing.
I think Tua, I would have been just as okay with Tua, essentially. Well, what are you trying to do? You're trying to find a serviceable quarterback for
You're
this
just
year.
trying to get through a year where at least you have serviceable quarterback play. But you're not looking to lock in for down the road. You're not looking for anything long term, which is why this, again, none of the options. Don is right. Every single option I threw up in my mouth. Every one. We discussed it. We were kicking around names, and every single one I said, I don't like that, don't like that, don't like that, right? So, but you have to have somebody. And you know that Justin Fields is not the guy. He's not the guy. He proved it last year. He's not the guy. So you had to move on, but you had to find somebody that could play capable quarterback because you owe that to everybody else that's on the damn team. So that's part of the deal here. You were never going to get anybody that was going to excite you for next season. But you have somebody that within a year. Now, last year, he was bad, but so were the Raiders. Their offensive line was terrible. And as you know, with that drop we have of him, if he sees a blitz, he's dumping out of it as fast as he can. He is not going to try to fight through it. He is just going to throw it away. So that's what you're getting. And that's fine because the Jets are going to continue to search for their quarterback, their future quarterback, rather than be desperate and throw bad money at somebody that they might have been able to convince to come only because you're willing to overpay.
Right.
They didn't do that.
It's the better move.
Yeah.
For sure.
You told us why they traded for Geno instead of waiting for him to be released. Here is what Rich Cimini said on TMKS.
The Jets obviously did not want him to hit. He was going to get cut tomorrow at 4 o'clock. And I thought he was their best option, and they didn't want to take a chance on him going somewhere else because I think Minnesota was also interested in Geno.
Wow.
And so they eliminate that from the equation by making this trade.
Now, this was the
There
same
you go.
conversation yesterday, if you remember, before Miami made their move that he was going to go to Miami to back up over there. Like, there were teams that were kicking the tires on him. And the Jets really didn't give up anything just for the insurance of knowing that they wanted to make sure that they had at least him. And I do believe that Carson Wentz is going to come here too because you're going to want to have, two options, kind of what the Giants did last year with Wilson and Winston. And then you hope that maybe you draft a quarterback and you bring in you'll be drafting a quarterback, either late in the first round or with one of your picks that maybe can fill out that quarterback room. And then you go up. I just don't know. I can't see you being happy today, and I can't really see you being upset.
No.
Unless for some reason you believe that Kirk Cousins was better.
Oh, come on.
Or you want to bring back Tyrod Taylor.
You didn't watch Kirk Cousins if you think Kirk Cousins would have been a better option.
Or you want Brady Cook to be your quarterback because you want to tank.
Oh, boy.
But after making the Mika Fitzpatrick deal and signing Davis and bringing Breece Hall back on the franchise tag, I don't think you're really going to be in a position to be the worst team in the league, and you got to start winning some games. So obviously the philosophy is to try to win, and you're bringing your best option to win, and tell me that Geno Smith isn't the best of the litter.
Yeah. I mean, what were we talking about also with the Jets? As much as fans are all about the whole tank thing, right? And I understand it because the quarterback draft's coming up, so you do have to keep an eye on that. But you can't do that to 52 other players in that room. You can't say we're just going to start a garbage quarterback because we want to lose anyway. What do you think, what are you telling Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall? What are you telling these guys? Like, you're going to burn another year of your life.
No, you can't. You just
can't do it.
No, you can't do it. And
so
you know
give
what?
me somebody serviceable, and then you'll just see how the year goes. If Geno's not good, you move on to the next one. And at some point, like you said, I agree with you. I think they're going to take a quarterback in this draft at some point. And then you'll have kind of the same thing that the Giants had, which I think I said this last week. You have Geno, probably Carson Wentz, knows the system, knows the offensive coordinator really well. He gets in the room, and then you get your rookie quarterback that you'll see, can we develop over time? And if it really goes to hell, come Thanksgiving or even December, we can throw him out there and just see how that works. But the next thing you do is go back in the draft and try to find your quarterback again.
Now, I don't think it'll go the way that went with the Giants, where they'll completely bypass one of the quarterbacks and then have Dart the way he did. They just didn't even bother with Winston until they had to.
Right.
You hope to, but I don't know if you're going to draft a quarterback that is going to be like Dart. That's the best case scenario, where you're itching to get him in early. this keeps that. If I have two quarterbacks, I'm letting this kid sit the whole year. I'm pulling the Patrick Mahomes. He's not seeing a game until late in the year, if then.
Mm-hmm.
And that gives you the insurance in case one of them gets hurt. The problem was the Giants you had a coach that was desperate to save his job, rushed Dart in, and it ended up working out. Dart ended up showing you something, and that's the way it worked out. Now, maybe you might have the same thing. Maybe you're losing, and the decision will be made by the organization because the feeling around Aaron Glenn's going to be, I got to save my job. But I still think you want to put yourself in a position where I don't have to play this kid, whoever it is,
Right.
because I only got the one quarterback. I think they will sign another veteran, and it probably will be Wentz. But how do you feel about it? 1-800-919-3776. The phones are blowing up, and it starts with David and Elizabeth here on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. What do you got, man?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, big fan of your show. I apologize I don't call as much. I'm always busy, like working and trying to finish stuff up. But, I always listen and laugh. So I appreciate you guys.
Respect the hustle.
Yes, sir. Hollywood Hahn, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm angry, and I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
The point that Don made, he's correct. If you would have signed Cousins, would I have been thrilled? Would I have been ecstatic if you would have signed whoever the other gentleman was that Don said? The other name, I apologize. Right now, I'm not even I'm not even in my right mindset. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just not ecstatic about it because it's like we took 20 steps forward yesterday, and now I feel like we just took 15 steps back.
What are you going to do?
Yes. No, I agree with you guys. No matter what, the quarterback wasn't going to be box office. It wasn't going to be a guy that was going to come here and change the narrative of all that stuff. Don't kill me on this idea. I just want to see what you guys think. I believe he's still signed with the Giants, but I would have took a chance on Russell Wilson, if anything. Like, come over here, stink up the joint real quick. You only be here for a year, and then, we move on from you.
But
to get Geno is like,
No, hold on. Don't you want serviceable play? Like, at least serviceable play. Russell Wilson can't play serviceable NFL quarterback.
Geno Smith
he can't play at all.
He is that is a cooked player.
Right. Yeah, right now Geno Smith is better than Russell Wilson.
Not even close.
Oh, yeah.
Not even close.
Now, I thought he was going to say Jameis Winston. Now, that's a different story.
I would do that.
Yeah,
that's a little bit of a different story.
But I don't think the Giants want to let.
I don't think the Giants want to let
him
him go either. But no. I understand you're a Jet fan and you want to be mad at everything that they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think this is that big of a deal. Either way. And if you call me ecstatic, I'd be like, dude, relax. Take a chill pill, man. It's not that. It's a thing. It's a hire. All right. It's a trade.
Really is.
It's something that happened.
It really is.
All right.
He's a guy.
And believe me, if there were other big stories, then we might think about not leading with this. But it's the Jets, it's the quarterback, and all that. But I'm saying it's not box off. It's not exciting.
No.
But nothing was.
Nothing's going to be right now. This is where they are. This is the ground up. This is a space holder until you can find the guy. It's Elfrid Payton. Like, you're not going to be excited about it.
Right.
It's just who you have right now, for now. And you're hoping, like it's Sean Mania, and you're hoping maybe you could just get a little something out of it. That's what you're hoping for.
You're on a date, and you go into the movies. And the only movies that are playing are Driving Miss Daisy, The Bridges of Madison County.
God.
Right?
Sleepy Time Bobos.
Yeah, and you know what? And a movie that just shows you static for 2.5 hours.
I'll go with the static.
It's not exciting, but you're on a date and you got to pick a movie, and that's it. And it's not great, but it's not the end of the world either. And I guess I showed you stats. Threw 21 touchdown passes last year. Threw for over 3,000 yards. And you
look at his years before that, Don.
Oh, listen, he was an MVP candidate a couple of years ago.
His previous 2 years before the awful year in Vegas were actually very impressive. And it was his resurgence. We were talking about him in the same breath we were talking about Darnold and Baker, like guys who resuscitated their careers after bouncing around as a backup a little bit, after failing as a starter, right? That's what Geno did.
And
then he went to a bad franchise with a bad offensive line, and the results are obvious. So the Jets don't have a bad offensive line. They are a bad franchise, although they're trying to fix that. So I don't know what to expect.
In 2022, he threw 30 touchdown passes, 11 interceptions. He was the comeback player of the year,
there you go.
And he finished 9th in the MVP.
Yeah.
And what do you think the Jets did at quarterback? over the last couple of years.
Oh, God.
All right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Not
I mean,
that.
Because how many different quarterbacks have they had?
So you'll have, like, if you can't get Ty Simpson, let's say he's gone before you have a chance to take him if you wanted to late in the first round, which I still think if he, even though a lot of people don't think anymore that he might not be sitting there at 16, and you might think that's too high to take him. But if you think that's your plan, you draft him.
Totally. And this doesn't change that at all.
And
in
what
fact,
Geno does is buy you time. Now, Geno, everybody's like, well, he's not a mentor. I heard you say this. He's not a mentor. You're not asking him to be a mentor. Frank Reich's job is to develop the rookie quarterback. And that's what you do. Now, if you feel that's too soon, fine. Then you got Carson Beck and you've got Garrett Nussmeier and you got Drew Aller. Those are the guys you get in the second or third round, the day two guys. You get one of them, you throw them in the room, and that's what you see how this goes from here. That, to me, feels like the formula of what the Jets are going to follow this year.
I'll also say this. I hear what Don's saying, but Geno at this point, 98 career starts, right? Not nothing. Not only that.
He's experienced.
Was a quarterback, lost it, went around the league, found it again. There's a lot to be learned from Geno Smith.
No, yeah,
he brings valuable things to a lot.
That's what I felt about Dart, right? Like, Dart was able to watch a Russell Wilson who won a Super Bowl, who was a third-round pick, make it in the NFL, and he was able to watch Jameis Winston, who was a first overall pick, and fail. And just watch them and learn something, not necessarily have a tutorial from them, but just watch them play football, watch how they go about working. Now, the three quarterbacks last year for the Jets, Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor, and Brady Cook, combined to throw for 2,378 yards, 14 touchdowns, 13 interceptions.
Ew.
All right? So you've improved, but you're going to get somebody that now is going to throw from just last year, which was on the worst team in football.
Mm-hmm.
7 more touchdown passes, 1,000 more yards in the air. And by the way, he only played 15 of the 17 games.
And that's the Raiders.
So he's going to be way better than what you had. He's going to be way better than you had when you had Zach Wilson here.
And we're not that far removed from 2022, where he threw for over 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and
that's what we're
picks.
saying. And even the year before that wasn't bad.
That's what I'm looking at. The previous 3 years before the Raiders, he averaged 8 wins a season.
This
is
at least NFL quarterback play,
and averaged 4,000 yards. So 8 wins, 4,000 yards. So it's not like they ran the ball a ton. No, he threw 4,000 yards. So
now, and I would probably say that on the flip side, to even put Geno up on a higher pedestal, because I think he deserves it. Number one, as much as people enjoy Jameis, and I think they find him funny, sort of ha-ha funny, Russell we know isn't a locker room guy.
No,
neither of those guys are close to having seasons of good football in recent memory. The rear view growing back now, Pittsburgh, Denver. How long's it been since Russell Wilson's been good?
Yeah.
And then in both cases, neither are true guys that the locker room seem to like. I think Geno's a guy teammates like and play for.
Oh, yeah,
so
for sure.
Only one didn't like
maybe
it.
not IK.
IK.
Where's IK?
But
I'm not trying to make
that was a dozen years ago.
Right. Yeah. If it was a day.
He grew up. But I'm not trying to make it out like this is a great signing or he's going to be great.
No, it's
what
good.
I'm saying
is good.
This is probably the best the Jets could have done, and even they knew we probably should trade for him because we might not be able to get him, and that's what Samini said. That's why.
I ain't right back though.
That's why you're in this situation.
I ain't right back. Let's go.
But now we know who the quarterback's going to be.
1-800-919-3776. Get your thoughts on this. We've also got a Talk About It Tuesday.
Oh, we got something to talk
We've
about.
got an ENN. And then we've got the Rangers and the Flames.
I'm fired out of a cannon for talking about it Tuesday.
And you know what?
Can't wait.
The Rangers are catching the Flames on a second of back-to-backs. Flames are one of the worst teams in the NHL. If I wanted to bet Rangers tonight, what do I do?
Well, you go to FanDuel, where they're giving all customers a profit boost every single day through March 15th. From now till that final 68 is revealed, you're getting daily profit boost for a chance at boosted winnings on your college basketball bets. Trust me, you do not want to miss a single day. Build a same-game parlay for a shot at a bigger payout, or try live betting and jump in after tip-off. Best of all, with FanDuel, you get paid instantly when you win. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to get started. 21 and over, physically present in New York, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
25 a month, 5 whole years.
Donna.
Sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
Rangers fans, it's time for hockey, and the action begins tonight at Rivercrest with Team ESPN New York and Ultra. Whether you need a pregame spot or you're looking for the right Rangers bar to watch the game versus the Flames, Rivercrest is your destination. The party tips off at 6:30 p.m., and Team ESPN will be giving away plenty of ESPN prizes. Join fellow Rangers fans tonight at 3315 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria and enjoy Ultra Draft and bottle specials all day long. It's all happening at Rivercrest.
Everyone needs to take care of their mental health, even running back Bijan Robinson.
When I'm on the field and feeling the pressure, I usually just take a deep breath. When I'm just breathing and seeing what's in front of me, everything just slows down. It just makes me feel great before I run the play.
Just like Bijan, we all need a strong mental game on and off the field. Make a game plan for your mental health at loveyourmindplaybook.org.
Love your mind.
Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Foundation, the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, and the Ad Council.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. Make cancer screening a part of your annual healthcare routine. New York Presbyterian offers a full range of cancer screenings, including lung, cervical, prostate, colorectal, breast, and more. Regular cancer screenings could save your life by detecting cancer at its earliest, most treatable stages. Screenings are available across New York City and Westchester. Learn more at nyp.org/cancer screening. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner in the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control and mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
After wanting one for years, Kevin is finally enjoying his new hot tub.
This is the life.
He worked with Empower to help him get good at money, so now he can be a little bad.
Oh, no, not my phone.
Oh, Kevin. Kevin's phone may be in hot water, but his finances aren't. Invest well, live a little. Start today at Empower.com.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. Because when it's game time, guys, it's totally time. The Rangers are back home facing the Flames with coverage immediately following us on 880 at 6:30.
Hockey Ranger.
Islanders visit the Blues at 7:30. That's cool. Get a game on the way back, right? You got the 3-game Western swing. On the way back, you stop in St. Louis, right?
I guess. I mean, that's what the Knicks are doing. After Utah, they stop in Indiana before they come home. I'd just rather come home.
And then the Nets play host to the Pistons at 7:30, trying to sweep the home and home. How about they're down 16? They beat the Pistons. I know Cunningham didn't play.
Yep.
Stop it.
They were losing by 20.
So a team that's not trying to win beat the best team in the NBA at home.
Yeah, Detroit's lost 4 in a row.
Right.
They're hitting a wall right now.
Or are they just, you know what, just get me the hell into the playoffs already?
Oh, they're hitting the wall. They're hitting the wall.
Well, then maybe they stay on that
They got Boston all of a sudden right up their aces, you know what I mean?
Oh, excuse me? I don't think they say up.
That's what you say.
Right near. No.
No?
For your ace.
Right for their ace?
You don't want to ever say up
going
or
for
in.
their
You
ace?
don't want to go any direction.
Yeah, don't say.
You can't go a direction.
Drive or poke.
I didn't say.
Like
Enjoy that, YouTube audience. You're the only ones that heard it.
Listen.
Wait a minute. Because of Alan, right?
No, because Alan.
We were doing.
First of all,
you and I were right.
Radio.
I've heard Bart say worse.
That's fine.
Don't go by Bart or
That's
Rick.
not the standard.
That's filth radio.
That's filth radio.
Bart or Rick say something, and RJ gets called and going, why did you let him say that?
That's ES. But if Rick and Bart did a show together, it would be ESPN After Dark. They'd have to air it at like 3 in the morning.
But I mean, like on your,
No.
right behind you.
No, it's. How do you say this tactfully?
You
around's good, just can't go in.
Yeah, but I didn't say in.
You suggested.
If I said in, that's a different story altogether.
Up. Can't go up.
Can't go up. Up is in.
Up is in.
In is up.
What do you say when you're driving and there's a car like right behind you on your bumper? What do you say? This guy's
Get off my ace.
Like, yeah, you're on. You get off my bumper.
No, he's I know what he's saying, but
all right,
no.
I'm wrong.
Listen,
but I'm wrong.
Well, according to the person that hits the dump button, you're wrong.
Okay, fair enough. I apologize.
Take it up with management.
Not up.
Gotcha.
Take it by management. Take it for
but
management.
the YouTube audience, which is the technically, I guess, ESPN After Dark, gets the unfettered.
It's really
unfiltered.
It's not that exciting.
Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, and triple cast matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. Let's go to Ira, Staten Island. You're on ESPN New York. What do you think, I?
Well, good afternoon, gentlemen. You know what? Considering everything that was the options and everything that was on the table, I think this was a smart move. Like Samini reported, they didn't want to take a chance of him hitting free agency. Listen, I'm not saying he's going to come in here and light it up, but you can't discount 3 years in Seattle. His split was 71 touchdowns and 35 picks, and you don't get that from jet quarterbacks usually. So, to me, the way I'm looking at it, I think Muji, he's looking at this thing. Listen, they're going to draft a quarterback this year. Unless they get like a Brock Purdy or get really, really lucky, the quarterback's not coming to next year. So if by some chance you could squeeze a season and a half out of Geno, and whoever they draft next year doesn't get thrown to the fire and he doesn't have to play the Thanksgiving, then to me, this was a no-brainer.
Yep.
I want to talk to you for a second, Ira.
Oh, boy.
Sure.
I'm sorry that we're having another year in March talking about how next year will be with Geno Smith. You've been a fan for a long time, and you deserve to have a conversation that's about how can we put a winning product on the field, not how can we get through another year with someone who can have a completion percentage of over 45. You deserve better, Ira. I'm sorry, and God bless you.
I get it, Peter. That was great. But this is what it's come to.
It is.
mean, you know what we've been through. And listen, let's just hope they get the right quarterback next year and they get the right head coach next year.
Well, that's what you got to hope for. And everything is about the future with this team, but I do think it's important to win some games. And maybe the hope could be that Geno Smith could be what Ryan Fitzpatrick was in 2015. You were coming off a 4-win season. You let Rex Ryan go. You bring in Todd Bowles. You said, you know what? Geno Smith's not the guy. Let's bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick. Now, Fitzpatrick was 33.
If he was a
you're talking about Geno Smith who comes in at 35. But Fitzpatrick, sets all kind of Jets records, throw 31 touchdown passes, you win 10 games. That would be a bit of a stretch. I don't think anybody was expecting Ryan Fitzpatrick to do anything. Could Geno Smith come in here and throw 25 touchdown passes, 10 interceptions, win you a few games? He could.
Be a disaster. It's the last thing you want.
I know.
Yeah, that's not what you mean.
But I know what you're saying.
But that's not what the Jets want.
I know. I'm being facetious.
But I hear you. You're talking the language of a lot of Jet fans right now.
Right.
But clearly, Muji and
Big Mooj
and the Jets organization want to win as many games as possible because they don't want the stink of losing, and they also don't want their owner to go, oh, another 3-win season? Okay, you're both are out.
Right. It's got to start looking like something.
Yeah, it's got to start looking like something.
Yeah.
And the deals that they made yesterday are for good players that can help you win. I mean, you could very easily strip it down and go, I'm not doing anything. I got all this money under the cap. We can spend it next year. We'll make a couple of ancillary moves just to be able to field the team, but we're not trying to win. But you go out and get a really good safety. You go out and you bring Breece Hall back on the franchise tag. You've got a world-class wide receiver. I'm not saying you've got a playoff team, but you got a team that, won, 3 games last year, could win a few more, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
but there'll be a lot of fans that'll say, but not too many more.
Not too many more. But you know what? You're not going to be the worst team in the league. And you still have the draft capital if you want to trade up. Yeah. What you need to root for if you're a Jet fan
is that you have a coach.
Well, I'm just saying outside of the Jets themselves is whoever ends up with the first overall pick is a team that doesn't need a quarterback. You root for Tennessee to be the worst team in the league, right?
Yeah. Well, how many teams are left that
for
need
the Raiders to be the worst team in the league?
Like, think about it. Like, you really, you are reaching a point of saturation.
Listen, Tennessee decided to bring in a former Jet head coach and a former Giant head coach and go out and get former Jets and Giants in an era where neither team can get out of their own way. Good luck, Tennessee. All right, but they've got a quarterback. The Raiders are going to draft their quarterback this year. So I'm not saying it's going to happen, but you root for Tennessee and Vegas to both vie for the first overall pick so they could maybe trade you the first overall pick if you're not in that position next year.
This is some full circle the Jets have come, though, with Geno Smith. It really is amazing.
It's chasing your tail, and the dog's about to pass. Let's go to Matt in Brewster. You're on ESPN.
It's very dark.
The dog's about to pass out.
Yeah, well.
Hey, guys. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Don, and I think the story is more what Muji's been doing with setting this team up. Exactly what you guys just got done saying is what I wanted this team to do. Set up for next year, build pieces around. Geno could easily win 6-7 games, whatever, or if he's so awful, we get the first pick. We get our guy next year, and I really want them to draft a wide receiver, either 16, whatever, get the best defensive player at 2, or maybe trade back a little, and we worry about the quarterback next year when it's a much better class. I think this is a great setup for what they could be in the next 3 years.
Well, it was a necessity.
This is what you
need a quarterback.
Yeah.
Right.
And setup is the best phrase to use here because I think that's what they're trying to do is they're just trying to set themselves up. But the concern that everybody always has is that are you building yourself out of getting the most important piece, which everyone always believes is in the draft, right?
Right.
Like that everyone believes the only way to solve your quarterback problems are in the draft. Remember where Glenn comes from, Detroit. They didn't solve their quarterback thing in the draft.
No.
They had one. He was a superstar, but he wanted out. They moved him, but they moved him for a former number 1 pick who had gotten to a Super Bowl, whose time had run out in L.A., and they kind of rejuvenated him. We have seen Seattle. Did they fix the post-Russell Wilson era in the draft at quarterback?
No.
They did not. They went to Geno first, and then they got Sam, and they won a Super Bowl. So there are other ways you can solve the problem, and that's what I think Darren Muji is trying to put them in position to do is not just make it all or nothing, to have the ability to fix that problem in various ways. And also you got to show your coaching staff can coach.
Well, think about this. You win some games. You're not embarrassing. You prove your coach can coach. And Let's just throw it out there. The Burrow situation gets worse in Cincinnati. And now maybe he's a little bit more open to being gone at the end of next year as opposed to this past offseason. And then he becomes somebody that could become available. Who knows, right? I mean, you never know who's going to end up shaking loose.
Yeah.
There could be options for you.
Yeah.
But I think you got to just, find a way to try to start winning some games here.
Here's a tweet I see.
Hope's a dangerous thing.
Here's a tweet I see moving around. Geno Smith.
Yeah.
Matt Sims.
Oh, here we go.
Michael Vick.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. Bryce Petty.
Yeah. Bryce.
Josh
oh my
McCown.
God, Bryce Petty.
Sam Darnold.
That's a strange pull.
Trevor Siemian. They all are.
No. Bryce Petty's a strange pull.
Luke Falk.
Excuse me?
Joe Flacco.
That's what I said.
Zach Wilson. Mike White. Josh Johnson. Chris Strevler. Aaron Rodgers.
Strevler.
Tim Boyle. Tyrod Taylor. Justin Fields. Brady Cook. Geno Smith. That's Geno to Geno. Starting on ABC this fall.
Yeah.
Geno to Geno.
And it'll get canceled at the first commercial break.
Sands through the hourglass.
Yeah. Well, it's now time for the tournament update brought to you by Schweppes.
Oh, baby!
Top seeded St. John's awaits their opponent in the quarterfinals of the Big East tournament. First round matches begin tomorrow.
Kidding me?
At MSG.
Sure does.
We're going to be there on Friday. That was the tournament update brought to you by Schweppes. Schweppes delivers above the rim refreshment. Feel the madness and refresh your game with a Schweppes seltzer or Schweppes ginger ale. Got to talk Knicks a little bit later on as they drop a game in L.A. to the Clippers. Talk about it Tuesday at 4:30, 6 o'clock we had ESPN, then 6:30 it's Rangers and Flames here on ESPN New York.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery to give you the chance to win a pair of tickets to see New York take on Charlotte Sunday, April 12th at Madison Square Garden. Entering is easy. Stop by Calandra's Bakery on Bloomfield Avenue in Caldwell, New Jersey anytime between March 4th and April 7th to enter in person. Full details and contest rules are on the ESPN New York app. Don't miss your shot to be there live. Brought to you by Calandra's Bakery in Caldwell, home of fresh-baked classic Italian pastries and traditions baked daily.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Get ready, New York soccer fans. New York City FC is back at Yankee Stadium for a massive showdown against Inter Miami on Sunday, March 22nd, with kickoff set for 1 p.m. You don't want to miss this huge matchup. Be there when the boys in blue take the field against Miami. For your chance to be there in person, enter now at ESPNNewYork.com or through the ESPN New York app. Tickets are available now at Ticketmaster.com/NYCFC. Programming update, Peter Schrager is going to join us coming up at 5. So Schrags is going to be with us to talk a little NFL frenzy on how he was put in an awkward situation today.
We got to ask about
Tiny
Desk.
We have to ask him about that.
That was.
I didn't know he was doing a Tiny Desk concert.
Yeah, he did. He and Dan Orlovsky.
I didn't know they were a group.
Tiny Desk. It was great.
They were at the Tiny Desk together. Very similar feeling. You'll know this, Peter, as Maya gets older.
Go ahead.
When you have like parent-teacher night, or you have a meeting
and you have
about
to sit at
Maya
the
at
student
school,
desk?
and you have to sit at the
Oh,
student
I've done it.
desk.
Remember, I worked in after-school care, so I sat at many children's desk as an adult. It's an insane feeling.
Yeah, it was, and we'll see if it was the same for Peter. So we'll. Talk
And
to
also
him.
for anyone out there, I think this is good for everyone to know. For anyone out there who is worried about the state of me and Don's relationship, I want everyone to know that as of today, Don is eating my nuts, and we are fully back to where we were. It's never felt better.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. I got dumped. And
yeah, but Don, during the pre-show meeting,
right,
just lunged right in and ate my nuts. No hesitation. He knows I'm going to share with him.
Right.
And guess what?
I got
stuck
dumped.
his hand right in the bag, and he knew, I was thrilled to see it. I enjoyed every bite.
Right.
You know?
Excited him.
Nothing. I'm going to get called to the carpet.
It's called
Shockingly enough, no rules were violated.
That's the thing. Yeah. It's called knowing the rules and playing
something
inside
was violated.
Well, maybe my nuts. But again, that's not amongst friends. That's not a violation. That's what friends do.
Right. You know, you're like
he had a hanker. I'll be honest. The one thing I miss about having an office is the taste of Steve Hart's nuts.
What Peter and I do in that realm, and Peter's better at it than I am.
Thank you.
Is almost like
it's art.
It's a stand-up that doesn't work blue, but talks about blue things, but never really does anything that really couldn't make network television. But you know exactly what he's talking about.
Correct.
A lot of nuance.
Oh, you work
You're
blue,
Red
all
Fox.
right.
You just go right out.
Right.
Bravo.
No, he's
Never
Andrew
know,
Dice
man.
Clay.
Yeah, just
I know. Whereas you have to say, I was in the other room and I was thinking, it just crossed my mind, and I went, Don. I don't know why. I opened the thing. I guess I saw the nuts, and I was like, oh, Don ate nuts, and I thought, it'd be funny to talk about that. And then here we are.
God, it's so ridiculous. But the Dice poems, that was genius.
Tremendous.
Back in the day.
I kind of missed it because I didn't get it at the time, and I never went back to relive it. I just knew he was like crass.
Well, I was very crap.
Because I was a kid.
Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
Eating
her curds
her
and
curds and whey.
Yeah.
Along came a spider, sat down beside her, said, hey, what's in the bowl? Only one word was bad.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe.
She had so many kids, she didn't know what to do. Yeah, there's two versions of that one. I went with the other.
Yeah, I was going with the other one. I couldn't say anything else.
So this one I'm thinking, can I do the Jack and Jill one?
I would.
No.
Jack and Jill went up the hill both with a bucket of corn.
Jill.
By the way, now Anthony,
wait. There's no bad words there. It's just a bad image.
I think we can
Mickey's
do the
on the
Jack.
check.
Can say it, but
no, it's not worth it. Now we've talked too much.
Yeah.
Once you've now expressed too much concern over doing it, the answer is always don't do
Google it, kids.
Oh, very funny. Yeah, Google.
Trust me.
You're on YouTube already. I'm sure you can find some of those videos.
Ew.
You ever watch YouTube?
Let's go to Vinny. He's at Staten Island. You're on ESPN New York. What's up, Vinny?
Hi, guys. What's up?
Hey, buddy.
Jets did it again. Geno Smith coming full circle. Absolutely terrible. What they got to do is draft Carson Beck with one of those second-round picks. He's every bit as good as Mendoza. The kid can throw the ball. He reminds me of Dan Marino coming out of college when he slipped because of his attitude, his partying. Carson Beck can throw the ball.
All right, but
he's a good. But Geno Smith is just.
But what is
terrible?
But wait, Vinny, why does one have to do with the other? I mean, you could still draft Beck if you want, and you need somebody to start a quarterback.
I don't think.
Well, but you're saying two things here. What is wrong with Geno Smith? What would you have done?
He'll get booed out of New York.
What would you have done? He's not going to happen.
As soon as he has a couple bad games, he will get booed out.
Wait. But Vinny, Don asked you. Wait. Don asked you a question though. What else could they have done?
Kirk Cousins.
He want to come here.
I got.
He was not coming here.
And also, I'm telling you, dude. I've watched Kirk's entire career from 2012 when he was drafted. He has fallen off a cliff. It's mentally not there. But Geno, think about it. Geno has actually survived, but Geno has survived the worst New York situation anyone can have.
But wait.
He got through it, and he's back.
All
He'll
that
be
makes
okay.
sense. Everything you're saying makes sense. But what Vinny needs to understand, and I need you to listen clearly, Kirk Cousins and his wife do not want to be here.
Right.
They don't want to be in New York. They don't want to play for the Jets.
So Cousins wasn't on the table. So you'd rather have Carson Wentz?
No, Carson Beck.
Absolutely.
Well, Beck in the draft.
You don't want Wentz. Hold on, you didn't say Wentz.
No,
but I'm saying.
I'd rather have Carson Wentz than Geno Smith.
Are you? Absolutely. Hold on. I need you to do me a favor. You have a working computer, right?
Wait.
You
might get him.
I need you to go look up the last time Carson Wentz was even mediocre. Like, even mediocre, man.
He was good with Indianapolis. It was fine. And he was fine with Minnesota last year. He got hurt.
Indianapolis is 4 years ago. And he wasn't great. He was passable.
I think you might get Wentz anyway, so you might get what you want.
He was fine. He was fine with Minnesota last year. Listen, the whole thing is Aaron Glenn will be fired by Thanksgiving. Frank Reich will be the new head coach.
There you go.
Well, so it really doesn't even matter.
I see quarterback scout in your future. No, Carson Beck and Wentz.
No, but you got to understand. Vinny is just a broken fan who's going to hate anything the Jets do because no matter what they do, they're going to screw it up. But and the reason I know that he was just complaining for the sake of complaining, his first statement made no sense. Trading for Geno Smith has nothing to do with who they're going to draft.
Yep.
Now, if they want to get back, because that's what he said, he wants to get back.
The next Dan Marino.
But that doesn't matter. Whether they sign Cousins or Wentz or Smith is not going to affect who they're going to draft late in the first round or in the second round.
Right.
So he was just complaining for the sake of complaining. And Carson Wentz,
he was. I'll give him. He was right about one thing. In 2021 in Indianapolis, he started everything the whole season.
They got hurt.
They went 9-8. He threw 27 touchdowns to 7 interceptions and threw for 3,500 yards. That was a pretty good year in 2021.
That was a pretty good year. And Geno Smith had a better year the following season in 2022. Was the comeback player of the year, threw 30 touchdown passes a year later. And then, do you realize that when Carson Wentz signs with a team that's not Minnesota, Kansas City, the Rams, the Commanders, or the Colts, that would be 6 teams in 6 years. So nobody wants him for any length of time Because if he signs wherever, he was in Minnesota last year, Kansas City the year before, the Rams the year before that, then Washington, then the Colts, and then Philadelphia's last year, 2020. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You count Philadelphia at 6. This will be 7 teams since 2020. And you're still going to probably get them anyway, and that'll be your quarterback room. Smith and Wentz.
Yep. And I'm telling you right now, on the flip side of that, Geno was getting a job. Geno's getting a job this year. Now, maybe he ended up a top-flight backup on a good team or a starter on a bad team. He was getting a job.
Let me ask you, they made this trade because Muji didn't think he'd last in free agency.
Right.
So somebody else
They'd
wanted
have competition.
They had to, even just for a 6th-round pick, they had to do something.
No, listen, I love Vinny. I understand it. I work every day to a guy to my right who's a broken Jets fan. I get it.
As broken as can be.
You hate it, and then you start talking about taking Beck, which they could do because when he's like 30. It's ridiculous. Like the kid in Miami because he was transferred there. He's 24, 25. That's not a bad point, but he would have hated anybody they got because there's nobody left there. That's why they're in the situation that they're in, and he already believes that coach is going to get fired midway through the season anyway.
Which a lot of fans do, which is why if you're Glenn, you kind of got to get it right this year.
And that's why they're going to want to win.
Same way.
And I think Muji feels the same way.
Yeah.
Like as much as I think Muji's done a lot of good things, can he survive another 13, 14 loss season?
He does longer than Glenn does.
He does, but it chips away, Alan.
Sure does. Yep.
And I'm sure he doesn't want another double-digit loss season on his resume. 1-800-919-3776. We've got the Knicks to talk about. We've got to talk about it Tuesday. We've got some really interesting conversation from Steve Kerr to get into. Peter Schrager is going to join us coming up at 5. It's Don Hahn and Rosenberg until 6:30. Then it's Rangers hockey on ESPN New York.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Attention New York Verizon mobile customers. Score a massive win with award-winning Fios Home Internet for an incredible $20 a month guaranteed for 3 years. Switch today for savings you can count on. Call 1-800-VERIZON now. For new Fios customers with AutoPay, mobile and home discount enrollment required. 3-year price guarantee applies to the Fios-based monthly rate only. Additional terms apply.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as That's 888-665-0696.
ESPN New York, now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York.
.401 of the big city. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg with you until 6:30. Then it's the Rangers and the Flames on ESPN New York. Knicks. That's frustrating. I got to stick to my guns here. It's the regular season. You can't get crazy. I can't dissect and analyze every game like it's Game 7, where when they have a big win, it's, we're winning the championship, and then you lose, and everybody wants to jump off a bridge.
Well, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have that type of highs and lows. But it doesn't mean that now that we're at 16 games to go, that I think you're starting now to look, because a couple of weeks ago, Josh Hart said something very strange about how we're still figuring out our identity.
Uh-huh.
And I felt like that's way too deep into a season to say that. So you watch now trying to figure out, okay, what are you? Because they have had impressive wins, Spurs, Denver. That game Friday in Denver was a hell of a game. It was a fantastic defensive performance. And it just showed you what they can be. And then, of course, the game Sunday was one of those typical, you're not there mentally. You're not where you need to be. And the good teams in this league might not shoot well every day, but they play hard every game. And the problem that you see with the Knicks this season, and I don't know if it's a byproduct of going from Tibbs to Mike Brown, but you don't see consistent. They look locked in from the start of the game. They're not messing around. Early on against the Lakers, they let the Lakers do what they wanted. It was too easy of a game. Austin Reeves after the game said, "We just played harder than they did." I don't like when you hear somebody say that. That might be more embarrassing than we're better than them. We just played harder than they did. But what the hell is that?
But is this the case? And we'll talk about the Steve Kerr stuff, that there's too many games and all.
No,
are we just getting to the point?
That. Oklahoma City doesn't have that excuse.
No, but I just wonder sometimes that, like, we build it up. Hey, you got to get that 2 seed. You can't drop the 4 because then maybe you'll play the Pistons in the second round. I wonder, do they even care?
No, you have to in these games when you know you're this late in the season, because what you're trying to do is figure out. If you're saying we don't have an identity, you got to figure out who are we against the better teams. Again, if you're playing the Wizards and it's like the second time in a week you've played them, then I can see you might, you like what the Pistons did with the Nets, where you just gave one away and you're mad at yourself for giving away. But you're not getting up for that game. But if you're playing these headliner games this late in the year, if it's January, Don, yes, I'll say that. You're in the middle of the season, maybe you weren't ready for whatever it is. But now, when you knew this is your stretch, the rest of the season, they have the third easiest strength of schedule remaining. Third in the entire NBA. So it's a cakewalk from here now to April.
Yeah, that might be part of it too.
But they still have tough games. Still have to play OKC, still have to play Houston, like a couple of, and Boston one more time. There's a couple of still tough games mixed into a lot of the easy.
But they got 16 left, so they might have, like 12 easy games and 4.
Something like that.
So they might be just looking at it that way. Like, listen, we're going to win 11, 12 games. We're going to get to – No, but they are. But the point is they are,
but then
Alan,
that
too
tells
many
you
times.
But then it does tell you about them. It does tell you, doesn't it? Doesn't it tell you something?
It does to some degree. He's right.
Okay, and then you had an 18 turnover game against the Lakers. You're kicking the ball all over the place. You can't make a 3, and your defense got soft early in the game. You had to chase the whole game. Luka made some shots out of his you-know-what. But besides that, they weren't playing that physical, nasty style. They were fouling too much. It looked like a team that wasn't locked in. You had a game the very next day against a team that has been struggling.
Mm-hmm.
All right, a Clipper team that had blown a big lead. They were under 500, and you were right there. You could easily now take that game, be mad about it, go in, and smack the Clippers around. What'd you do in the first quarter? 7 turnovers, soft defense. They locked in the second half, cut it to 5, had a chance to win, couldn't make a couple of shots, turned it over again. The finish of the game was, again, sloppy. It was not great. But by then, the Clippers were up. They were into it. These are the games you start to show, Are you a team that can lock in and when it's winning time, win it? Denver told me yes. San Antonio told me yes. Even the OKC game, neither team really had great games. They both were getting after it defensively that game. It was a battle. It was a war. It was a great game. They just lost it. But these two LA games, it just again buys into the narrative about this team, and it makes you wonder. I said on Get Up on Monday, and it upset a lot of Knicks fans. I don't know why. I was asked a question. I answered it honestly, like I always do. Does the East go through Boston now with Tatum back?
I heard. Yeah, we played it.
Oh, we respect you
and
as a man, so we
well,
played it.
I wasn't sure if you saw it. I said yes because they have the coaching. They have a defense. It's one of the best in the league. This is a really good team, and they just got back an All-NBA player who looks pretty much like he's fine. So, of course it does. They're in second place. They're ahead of the Knicks. That was my answer. And I don't know where's the lie.
No, there's no lie.
But if the Knicks had won that game in L.A. and knocked the Lakers, did what they should have done to a bad Laker team, then on Monday, I can't say that, right? I can't say that Monday. I'd say, no, you know what? I think it's still up for grabs. Knicks and the Celtics. And I think these two are on a collision course. It's exactly what the NBA would love to have. Another playoff series. Have Tatum kind of go back where it all started. It'd be an unbelievable story. But because of how the Knicks played, and I said, see, they bought into the narrative again about how they're a team you just can't trust because they have these games. And that's why, to me, Don, when you're this late in the season, the game-to-game does matter.
And, Alan, this was a year – but if this was going exactly the way everyone expected, sorry, they should have won Sunday and Monday.
Correct.
And you would have accepted a loss to Denver, but you're winning Sunday and Monday. Instead, they beat Denver. That's great.
Beat them by 39.
Now, you still have to split the next two at least.
Got it.
You have to. That's what big boys do.
Yes.
You don't then drop both end.
That's the best way to put it. If you're a big boy team,
so they're not
a big boy team. Doesn't.
That's what Alan's saying, though. They're kind of showing in this moment.
They keep buying into that narrative.
But that's what I'm trying, because again, I keep hearing, because I consume this radio station all day. I'm in the car, running errands. I'm listening to the shows, and we get callers here. We get them on other shows. Even some of the hosts. It's always the same thing. Oh, regular seat. Don't worry about it. They'll be fine. I keep hearing, I'm not scared of the Celtics. I'm not scared of the Pistons. I'm not scared of the Cavaliers. Well, if you're not, then these games, then what matters? Does it matter or not? I want to know. Tell me. Because you keep telling me as fans, you don't care. Because it doesn't matter.
Can we address
but
that?
Alan's trying to tell you who watches or is at every single game is telling you, be concerned. But all I hear, oh, come on. Pistons, what are they? We'll beat them in the play. I'm not scared of the Pistons. Meanwhile, Tatum comes back, looks like a friggin' animal. The Celtics can't. I'm not worried about the Celtics. Beat them a lot. So what am I supposed to believe? I'd rather believe you because you're the basketball guy. But these fans drive me crazy. I'm not worried. You're not worried? You just blew 2 games in a row. The Cleveland Cavaliers have the same amount of losses as you. If you don't get your act together, you're going to drop to 4th. Is that what you want? Well, that's right. You don't care about that because you're going to beat the Pistons. So what does it matter if it's the second round of the conference final, Alan? Because none of these Knicks fans are scared. They're not worried at all.
We should just, first of all, before the baseball season starts, can we address that whole thing about, the regular season doesn't matter and you can't get caught up in the day-to-day? Because every game has a story. Every game matters.
Every game has a story.
Every game does.
Every
game
story
matters.
has a hero.
If there wasn't a story, then why would a beat writer write about it? Why would fans read those stories if these games didn't matter? Why would they care? It does matter because every game leads to trends. Every game leads to this is your identity no matter how much you say. You can tell us all you want from game to game, what you are and who you are. And even fans can say it. But the games reveal it, especially the big ones, especially the big matchups that matter. And then the deeper into the season you go, oh, yeah, no, you got to pay attention. Because it is how you're playing. Now, yes, in the playoffs, matchups matter too. Who do you match up better with and all that stuff? That always comes into play. But I'm sorry, if I told you, Don, that they were one of the best three-point shooting teams in the NBA going into the All-Star break, and since then they've one of the worst, wouldn't that concern you?
Yeah, it would, because considering how that's how you win games in the NBA.
And especially since now you're heading to the playoffs. Like, what happened? Why all of a sudden is a three-point shot not a weapon anymore? Why are certain guys that you were counting on making shots now not making shots? Here's the big one. Why is Mikal Bridges suddenly disappearing all the time? all the time. That's a concern. You can't win playoff series when teams are doing what we've seen them do to Jalen Brunson lately. They bottle him up, they double team, get the ball out of his hands. They force him to be a passer. They don't let him get easy shots off. He's trying to find guys and feed someone else. But he also knows, I got to score because I got guys that aren't making shots. There's so much that's going on with this team right now since the All-Star break. And yet they still have found the ability to win more than they're losing. But there's a lot. Their defense is better. That's important. But their offense isn't what it used to be. There are some concerns about this team. Does it mean I think that they're one and done? No. Do I think they can beat the Celtics in a series? Absolutely, I do. But I'm watching things with this team that I'm like, they got to get this right, and they're running out of games to get it right.
So when the fans say they're not, and again, I'm not just talking about fans.
You have to worry now.
I'm talking about talk show hosts. That seems to be the consensus is, I'm not worried. I'm not scared. We're good. We're going to the finals. Don't worry about it. I think they're trying to convince themselves. I think fans are worried. If you follow this team and care, you are scared. You just don't want to admit it. So you're coming up with reasons like these games don't matter. Come on. There's enough evidence to tell you.
I hate that the games don't matter. The games all matter. They absolutely matter. And yes.
Well, they do matter,
You've
Alan.
lost 3 out of 4 here. One was a battle. The 2 in L.A. were embarrassing. They were not good performances by you. Not to take anything away from the Clippers and Lakers. These were not good games by you. But what's coming up now is a soft serve ice cream schedule.
They're going to beat the crap out of the Jazz
that
for
could
sure.
and that could be fool's gold.
Well, but
it's how you play this time of year against the good teams. And I thought the OKC loss was one of those rare good losses. Then they followed up by going into Denver and smoking that team. They beat the Spurs the Sunday before. You're going, wait a second. Like, that's a pretty impressive week. And then they go to L.A. and they do that?
But if you believe there's nothing to worry about.
I don't.
But if you're a fan out there, 1-800-919-3776, that believes we're not scared, we're going, then you must believe the regular season doesn't mean anything. Because things are happening. Trends are taking place that tell you should be concerned.
Teams are developing.
You're seeing what's happening in Boston, okay?
Yeah.
Hey, you're seeing what's happening in Detroit. They've lost 4 in a row.
They hit a wall.
Now, if you believe you're not worried, well, then I'm sure they're in Detroit going, listen, we're in first place. We don't care. We lost 4 in a row, so what?
No, they lost Thompson to injury. I saw Thompson as their best
Cunningham
defender.
didn't play against the Brooklyn
Cunningham
Nets.
he's hitting a little bit of fatigue wall, and they're trying to take care of his minutes because he's showing that. He's starting to wear down. And Duran, as much as he's an all-star, he's not a second star that can carry you when, Cade's not available. There's some things happening with that team right now. Their schedule has been a mess. That's why, again, for them, you got to wonder about, were they driving too hard all season? Are they running out of gas at the worst time? You watch that. But to me, this all sets up. People need to understand, the regular season does matter because you can't complain if they end up in the 3rd seed or the 4th seed and they don't have home court in the 2nd round, or they have to play a team that really matches up well with them earlier rather than later. This stuff matters right now, and it is tight 1 through 4. By the way, the Celtics lose the next 2, which they could. It's the Spurs and the Thunder, and the Knicks win the next 2, and they could because it's Utah and Indiana. Guess where the Knicks are?
They're right there.
Right there for
right
second.
There.
Does that matter when you have home court in the 2nd round? Of course it matters.
It seems to be very fluid, at least with the fans. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the fans.
Yeah.
And I hear it so much. Peter, I'm sure you hear it too. I'm not worried. They're fine. They're gonna go.
I think I'm not hearing as much as you are. I'm sensing a little more.
Well, I'm just saying on this
show.
But
I believe you on this radio station.
Yeah, and like you see the issues, and you just can't always. Maybe one night, all right, we didn't show up. Whatever. But, man, you see Cleveland's crawling up your back. You see Tatum's back and he's healthy and he's playing 27 minutes, right? Unless you don't care about where you finish, you should be red hot that you've lost the last 2 games that you lost.
Well, you should have been in the first quarter against the Clippers in a building that, by the way, was almost 60 to 70% Knicks fans.
Of course.
In that building. And you start off the game by giving up soft open threes to a team that doesn't shoot threes, and then they get into the rhythm that you know what happens, and now all of a sudden they're just playing free. And you're chasing the scoreboard the rest of the game because you didn't come out of the gate ready to throw the first punch
Right.
after you played a bad game on national TV literally the day before. That's the stuff that you're looking for from them. And that stuff does frustrate you because, in the playoffs, as we learned in the Eastern Conference Finals, you give away game 1. You can't say, we'll get game 2 and everything will be even, because how did game 2 go? Now you gave that team, Indiana, life. Now you gave them a chance. They stole a game, and now you gave them the chance to win one on your court and take command of the series that you never could get back. That's a dangerous place to be. And this team's mentality is the thing that does worry you. When they're locked in, they're as good as anybody, I'm telling you. But these 2 games in L.A. bother you. They have to bother you about this team because the problem that I see is there is still great opportunity for this Knicks team to get to the finals. But do they see it? Do they realize their opportunity right now?
Or do they think, hey, listen, we're good, we're fine. We got nothing to prove. We'll turn it on when we need to turn it on.
Dangerous place to be.
I've always said that.
Dangerous place to be.
Keep flipping the switch on and off, and eventually you flip it on, and it doesn't come on.
Blows the breaker. And you know what else they should know? The Bridges of the world, Towns. You got to understand something. The Greek, he's going to be on the table in the summer. And they're going to have to, because of all the picks they gave up for Bridges, they're going to have to move hell or high water to get him because he wants to be here. That means that whole roster gets torn to shreds.
Teams that they can beat anybody, they can lose to anybody. That's not the way you describe a championship team. 1-800-919-3776. Let's go to Manny in Flushing. You're on ESPN New York.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
What's up?
Good. Listen, before we get to the Knicks start, I don't want to hear a damn word of Steve Kerr talk about teams with fewer games because that guy says some things that I don't like. I mean, I'll never forget what he did with Jonathan Kuminga and the other the draft pick, James Wiseman, the guy. Remember James Wiseman?
Yes.
You remember, guys?
Yeah, he's now a rapper.
Yeah. But now let's go back to Knicks. Listen, I think in those 2 games it's disappointing for a lot of reasons. I think because the Knicks have a pattern of getting to slow starts. Like when they're down, like in the first quarter, they actually struggle. Like when they're down the first quarter, and they commit too many turnovers. They don't pass the ball particularly well. I think that Mike Brown is alluding to it because if they commit like 16 to 20 turnovers, they usually lose. And yes, I mean you're right about the Mikal Bridges and Towns thing because listen, I thought Towns the last 2 games he played very well with the 20 and 30 double in both respective games. But Bridges, man, when you have 7, when you average around 3.5 points in the last 2 games, that's a recipe for disaster. And he has to play better because instead of jocking shots, he usually hits the free throws and dunk the ball. He can't be doing his weak ass layups and just say, and like that. It's not going to count. But listen, the only thing they should be worried about is themselves because yes, the Pistons have been in a funk. Boston is, they're the Celtics. I mean, I'm not surprised at where they're playing, especially with Taylor's back. The Cavaliers are catching up, and don't look and listen. Don't be surprised. Teams like the Raptors and the Magic have something to say about that. But the Knicks, man, I hope that the next several games will wake them up because I do believe they'll recover. But I mean, listen, I just don't want to hear, every time when they win, it's like, okay, championship contender, but when they lose, say, this season's over. Because I don't believe the season is over. It's just the fans, even some media, a.k.a. Stephen A. Smith. All right, thank you, guys. Have a nice day.
People tend to overreact, but, all they have to do is worry about themselves. No, you've got other things to worry about. You can't beat the Pistons, but, Boston right now is the problem. And Jimmy's going to bring it up, man. He's going to go there. And it bothers me, but Jimmy in Connecticut's going to go there. Go ahead, Jimmy. What are you going to say?
I don't think I'm going to say what you think I'm going to say, Don.
I think you're going to say
okay.
Go ahead. Let's see.
Yes, as a Knicks fan, a big Knicks fan, I see things in losses, especially over the weekend, that concern me. In the grand scheme of things, yes, they do concern me. But I've seen a lot of positives from this team. They have proven to me on certain nights that they have the ability to win a championship, in my opinion. But then you see games like over the weekend that make you question it. All I'm going to say when you pull back and look at it through a wider lens is I would be more concerned if it was the other way around. If they weren't showing up for the big test, but they were just rolling over. And that's what they did last year. And I'm not saying the same result will happen this year as it did last year, because as you said, Detroit's a hungry team this year. Boston was coming off a championship. I'm not saying the same thing is going to happen, but I have faith that this team has the ability to elevate their game in the playoffs, because they show the ability to turn it on when they face good teams. And you're only facing good teams in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Where I thought you were going to go, Jimmy, is, well, we beat the Celtics last year. So what?
No, it's not the same thing.
Because all you did last year, Jimmy,
that doesn't apply to anything.
It just and I love the Knicks fans because they by far are the most confident and most positive of any of the fans in New York. All you did, and it was a big thing, but the only thing the Knicks did last year was beat the Celtics, and that was a big deal. But that was one series win against the team coming off a championship. You expect to come back from 20 points down every night and beat the Celtics again? They're going to have a chip on their shoulder after what happened last year. All right, last year's last year. Now it's this year.
That story?
All right?
Oh, yeah.
So, again, the Celtics can look and go, well, we know we can do it because we've done it. We've won a championship. The Knicks, they've got that one win against the Celtics, and as big as it was, that does not mean, don't worry, they'll show up when they have to. Well, did you show up against the Pacers, a team that you thought was a fait accompli? You were beating them.
You had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter at home.
What has this team done, other than you just being super fan, to give you that kind of confidence? What have they accomplished?
Well, they've no.
Well, how about they have a few? They have the dominance against really great Western Conference teams is something you can hang your hat on a little bit.
Yes.
But it's the Detroit part, not winning a quarter against Detroit all year, that hurts.
The Detroit thing, especially the first two games, they were coming off of blood. Like those games where one team was pissed off and the other team's like, "What are you so mad about?" You know what I mean? Like that's what that was about.
When are they ever mad?
What do you mean?
When are the Knicks ever mad?
That's a great point.
Because shouldn't you been mad the way you lost to the Lakers and smacked the Clippers around? Did you?
Instead, you opened that game as if it was a summer league scrimmage.
You don't want to see tomorrow? I want them to beat the Jazz by 40. Jazz don't want to win.
No,
they don't care.
No.
And after what happened the last two games, smack them around.
Yeah.
But I'd like to know, because you're closer to it than I am. When do they play mad? When do they get upset?
It's like, again, the OKC game, not mad. But that game at the Garden, it was the second of a back-to-back, remember? But they played hard, like hard. And that's like, those are the rare moments where you watch and you're just like, okay. Like when they dial it up, they could be as good as anybody.
Well,
but there's so many times, though, where you just get frustrated by missed shots affect them mentally and simple defense against them, which are obvious things they do. There's no, okay, we're now going to twist that on you and we're just going to score at will. And then they'll make these comebacks late and you're like, well, where was this whole game? It's that 48-minute game thing that I watch the Spurs, I watch OKC, I've been watching Boston a lot lately, and it's like you never question those things with those three teams. Never. And that's why when we think about the championship caliber teams, the Knicks are just outside that club. They can't get in the room because they don't consistently do what those three teams do. Those three teams legitimately do that. The Pistons for most of the season had done that. That's run out of gas now. But for the Knicks to be in that conversation, that needed to be a thing they're conditioned to do every night. And you're telling me that when the playoffs come, now they'll do it every night. That's not easy to rest your laurels on that and believe that's what they're going to do, because I have seen them get flustered and frustrated by missed open threes and also a team that defends them physically.
It's Tuesday. It's Talk About It Tuesday.
I've never been this talk about it horny before.
Really?
Oh, I'm ready to pounce.
And again, I got dumped.
Yeah, it's mattress shattering time when it comes to this talk about it.
Yeah, he's very excited.
Keep that in mind.
He's very excited. We'll have that, more Knicks, lots to get into. ENN at 6, then we're out at 6:30 for Rangers hockey on ESPN New York.
50 years from now, will jeans be wide or skinny? Will email still exist? Will guac still be extra?
One thing is certain. If you won the new Millionaire for Life from the New Jersey Lottery today, you'd still be getting $1 million every year for life. That's enough money to say, bring it on, the future. I will have that guacamole at any price.
Play the new Millionaire for Life today. Anything can happen in Jersey. Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Adam Schefter here. It's tournament time, when only the most talented teams survive and advance. And whether you're cutting down the nets or cutting through resumes, one thing's clear. The best teams are built with the best people. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. Their smart matching technology finds qualified candidates fast. You can add screening questions to get the right applicants and even filter to see who's recently active. Score the best for your team with ZipRecruiter. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/sports. That's ZipRecruiter.com/sports.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. We still have this issue over in Jersey Turnpike northbound, right before interchange 13 for the Goethals Bridge. Tractor trailer in the truck lanes lost his trailer. It flipped over into the car lanes, blocking all lanes there. Both the car and truck lanes at a standstill from right before interchange 12 in Carteret. Inbound George looking good for both the upper and lower decks. Worst of it's the outbound side. Cross Bronx westbound. You're slammed from the Bruckner on through. Outbound Lincoln Oranje about 20 to 30. Outbound Hahn 30 to 40. Hitting the brakes on the east side of town, FDR northbound, right before the Midtown Tunnel. Box truck snuck on the roadway and broke down in the right lane. That is you solid from East Houston Street on up. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Ow!
Sometimes you just can't take it anymore.
You're done. I'm done.
This is Let's Talk About It Tuesday.
And it's a really
Idiot! With Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
All right, well, I've been waiting all day for it because I took my time today.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Sounds like Joan Jett, doesn't it, when you start?
You know what? Well, that's what it was. A
great call.
Ripoff.
It was, right?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Didn't she try to sue?
Did she?
I thought so.
No, she should have sued him dead.
Well, it's funny.
I hate that song.
It's the first thing in the title of our show today. If you go on YouTube, but we're talking about it now.
Okay.
And that is the WBC, the World Baseball Classic to you and me, where last night we had a big matchup between the U.S. and Mexico.
Okay.
And the U.S. ends up getting the win. Aaron Judge, another Ramalama Ding Dong.
The border wars are always the ones you got to watch.
That's when you got to watch out in these tournaments.
Yeah.
2 for 3 RBI for good old Judgy. He's playing great, which is a nice thing if you're a Yankee fan. But the that guy moment, I needed some time to interpret it because I wasn't quite sure what happened.
Okay.
And you'll see there's a moment when Seattle Mariner Randy Arozarena, borderline the great Randy Arozarena, walks up to the plate. And who's behind the plate for America, Don?
That's Cal Raleigh.
That's Cal Raleigh.
Yes. Familiar with his work.
You're familiar with his work.
Sure.
And they're teammates in Seattle, coming off a great year together. Am I right?
Oh, yeah. Almost went to the World Series.
And Arozarena sticks out his fist, or it's more his hand. Sticks out his hand for a handshake.
Okay.
And Cal Raleigh doesn't give a hand back. And then you see Arozarena lean down to talk to him and can't quite hear what he's saying. He's like, what? And you see him continue to try to hear what he's saying, and then he kind of just goes up back to his stance and bats. And this was posted online, and I saw people initially, there was some debate about what happened, and I saw initially some of the comments were like, well, obviously you know nothing about catching. A catcher wouldn't want to shake hands with a batter because they could get pine tar on their hands, and that can affect them throwing the ball.
Wow.
Some of the very smart inside baseball people said that.
What about the fist bump?
It could be something, you'd think. So I said, well, that's interesting. I wonder what happens. Waited a little bit, and now the video has come out of Randy Arozarena being interviewed by a Mexican outlet in which he expressed Cal Raleigh. He's fortunate to have had a lovely upbringing with wonderful parents. I know his parents. Ran into them at the hotel. They're great. That guy can go bleep himself. That's how I feel. Go bleep yourself. You can't shake my hand?
No.
We're teammates. And now, what's the Mariners' manager again?
Oh, it's been so long since we've had baseball.
Come on. Why don't you give it to me? Someone. Come on. Either way. He's been interviewed now about weighed in. They're both great competitors. Dan Wilson. I'm going to talk to them both. They're both great competitors. The great Dan Wilson to you and me. But if it is in fact what it appears to be, and that's all I could go on. I waited to get as much information as I could. But now I'm going to go on what I have.
And
you were unable to shake hands with your real life everyday teammate because you're in the middle of heated battle of that Mexico-USA baseball rivalry. There's something wrong with Cal Raleigh. That means there's something wrong with you. I mean, I know the WBC is fun, and I know we want to win.
Yeah, this is made up.
But this is made up, dude. You can't. This is your real teammate. He's one of the best players on the team.
Yeah.
You guys are two of the best. Well, Cal Raleigh's the best player on the team now. Randy Arozarena is one of the best players on your team. You can't shake hands in the WBC?
No.
I mean, I know this is that guy, but it's Tuesday,
so
I had to go to talk about it. We're at war with Mexico
that's where
over baseball.
I mean, I always love the whole.
this.
I don't like when they fraternize and all friendly. Come on, you got a game to play.
That's fair.
But Major League Baseball has made it clear that during their regular season, whoever's playing first base and the guy if the camera's quick, you can see they're making out with each other
Joking
between pitches.
around.
It's amazing how well they're messing around. They're fooling. They all love each other. They're all in the same union.
Right.
They've all been teammates and everything. I understand you're trying to send out the perception that the WBC is war, and maybe I don't know him that well to know maybe that's just how competitive he is. But obviously his own teammate didn't take it well. He knows him as well as anybody, right? He knows him more than we do.
Have you
and
seen
if he knew that Raleigh was that guy, he wouldn't have attempted to shake his hand or fist bump.
That's
but he
the part.
did.
That's the part that's so
It
weird.
feels performative to me, because heck, when at the Super Bowl, the coin flip. Yeah. After the coins flip, everybody shakes hands. All right, let's have a good game.
Well, and
they don't death stare each other. This is the Super Bowl.
And this is the opposite. This is the opposite. This is. Can I be clear?
Money from my family. How dare you trying to take money out of my pocket? I'll win the Super Bowl, man. Let's go.
And this, Don, is the opposite. This is not only is this a made-up sort of international tournament, whatever, it's the round robin. It's the first round.
Right.
They all play each other. This is not a big deal.
Trying too hard, bro.
Trying too hard, bro. Dap up to. But I'll tell you this: I love a Rosarena not holding back in the thing, because he
See, that's the part that you love.
He was very clear. He laid it out. I ran into his family earlier. We hugged at the hotel.
Yeah.
I generally think he's a great guy, but that was nonsense. You can go bleep yourself. And just walked off. He dropped the mic and walked out of the interview. He had no interest. And it's interesting now. Mexico now drops to third.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. is 1. Italy is 2. But Mexico will play Italy tomorrow. So I believe they would need to beat Italy. U.S. plays Italy tonight at 9 o'clock. So there's
a battle of the great food countries. Let's be honest.
Mexico,
forget
no, by the
baseball.
way, get baseball out. To me, that could be 1 and 2 either direction in the food seedings.
That's what I'm saying. Well, it depends on the day.
Now you tell me there's a China-Japan matchup on the other side.
Oh.
Now you're having one of the great food wars we've ever seen.
This might be the greatest Final Four in any history.
Kobe beef.
That's a
versus
great
sesame chicken.
That's a great take.
All right, who are you taking out? What other country are you throwing in there?
For food?
Yeah.
I don't.
You can't.
I don't think you can.
I mean, that's your 4. That's the 4 best.
That's the 4 major food.
Although I always think Chinese is tough because we don't actually know Chinese food. We know American Chinese food. Like Japanese food, we're having real Japanese food that's cuisine in Japan.
Yeah.
You know, Chinese food, I don't think you go to China, you're in Beijing, you're like, what number is the
food?
General Tso's?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not.
That's a good question.
No, I know. I've read
He
articles
didn't have
about
a number.
it. This is American. This was created by Chinese immigrants as American Chinese food.
Understood.
Now, at its best, though.
But don't ruin it.
Don't ruin a good fun. Though.
Yeah.
It's in the convo.
What's hibachi again?
Hibachi's Japanese.
That's Japanese.
That's wonderful.
You love some
Did they
hibachi.
do that there?
In
Or is
Japan?
that all just
no,
there?
I believe all that stuff is actually there.
I hope so.
Now listen, as I pointed out, when I went to Japan, the one thing that jumped out to me is that I found sushi a little bit harder to get than you would imagine. Like, I thought it would be every restaurant sushi.
Okay.
It's not. Okay. Every restaurant, like every other restaurant, is noodles.
Yeah.
They literally have machines. You go up and you can push buttons and order noodles. They're everywhere. Sushi, it's plenty of it, but you got to still look it up and be like, oh, where's a good sushi place? I didn't quite realize that till I went to Tokyo.
Yeah.
But anyways, so just a lame moment from Cal Raleigh, who's a guy we all don't know that much about.
But we thought
We're getting to know him right now.
Yeah.
And this is going to be one of his bigger moments now.
Like, imagine if that's Judge. Judge would never do that.
No, but why do I feel like Yankee fans would love it if he did do it?
But no, not against one of their own.
Come on.
These aren't just fellow big leaguers. They're teammates. Like,
it depends on who it would be, right?
All right, so he's at second base, and there's Jazz Chisholm, right? Or
because that could happen.
Right?
One of the
Bahamas, I believe, right?
No, was it Great Britain?
Great Britain.
It was Great Britain.
Great Britain?
For, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, think about it. He's at second base, and Jazz is like giving him, put his hand out. And Judge is like, no, we're at war.
Yeah, no, buddy.
That's a bad look.
It's not a good
do that.
Come on. And if you're a fan of the Mariners, you're going, we want you guys on the same page. You're having fun.
Now they go back, and do we have issues? Probably not.
Probably not. I'm sure it'll die off after that. But it wasn't that guy moment.
But it was
It's
weird.
starting to heat up. It's
Definitely
starting
something to talk
but
about.
That was good. That was good.
Thank you.
LA Marathon was Sunday.
We talked about this.
Did you see the end?
This made the end, but I want your take on it. Yeah, please talk.
Honestly.
And we didn't cover all of it though, because didn't we get more information when we went off the air?
Yes, I believe we did.
There's more information.
Well, I can't remember if this was on the air or off the air.
All right.
It was sort of on the air. We found out that there was a woman that may have accidentally directed the leader to the wrong wrong way.
The leader down the stretch was misdirected for probably lost 5 or 6 seconds.
This is not my talk about.
Okay.
The finish is not my talk about.
Oh.
It was a wild finish. Big part of the
say.
story. Before the race. Bigger story.
Whoa.
Yeah. So the McCourt Foundation hosts the marathon in LA, right? on their website, they told runners before the race that if you were having a tough day, you can still get a medal. All you have to do is get to the 18th mile marker. Now, the race is, as you know, 26.2 miles.
That's right.
That's what
That's
a marathon
to you and me.
Yeah. But you can still get a finisher medal at the 18th mile. It's very strange. This was the quote. This was on their page. If you're having a tough day and want to end your race before 26.2, you can choose to take the turn at mile 18 and head to the finish line early.
Clown show! Clown show!
Yeah.
Clown show!
Now, they said the reason why was because of the race day weather. That it would be slightly warmer than a typical LA Marathon race day. It was going to get to about 80 degrees. So, usually you race, it's like, in the 60s, right? Now, they said it was only supposed to be for this year. But still, what are we doing?
I don't know.
And I understand. You're having a bad day. You train for this thing, and it's hotter than you expected.
Ooh.
And you get to 18, which is the wall. Anybody that runs marathons. Emma, by the way, my daughter, this Sunday, New York City Half Marathon. She's participating.
Oh, she's in?
First one.
There we go.
Very proud of her. She ran track in school. This is her first time. She's going to attempt to do a marathon at some point, but this is her build-up. So I'm excited for Emma. But I even asked her, if you had that option, what would you do? She's like, I don't want to finish your medal. I didn't finish. The whole idea of the race is not the great ones try to win it, of course. But really, for most people who run a marathon, it's the idea is I finished. I got through the 26.2, which
that's
is
the point.
Very difficult. Stopping at 18 because it's too hot, and I still get a medal. Are you showing people the medal? Hey, yeah, it's my medal from the LA Marathon. Oh, really? What time did you finish in? Well, I didn't quite finish. Well, how'd you get the medal? Well, because I got to 18, and they told me I could quit if I wanted to.
It's very.
How do we feel?
No,
it's not
good.
How do we feel about
it's
this?
not. It's.
I understand. We want to encourage people to try.
Well,
we
if
want
you
to
wanna-
also recognize effort.
So come up
But
with
are we really doing this?
No, you don't get a medal, Don. Listen. You obviously don't just get a medal for winning. It's a marathon. Completing it is amazing.
Right.
But the thing is kind of completing it. That's what makes it the marathon.
The thing that bothers me is a finishing medal. Well, why can't you get a medal for I made 18? I participated. I did half of it. I survived 18 miles of the marathon. Why do you get to have the same thing the person that finished it? It's just as hot for them.
It's very weird.
It's so ridiculous.
If you can't do it, you can't do it. That's just how it works. A participation, everybody you try. That's what you should get. But because you get to 18, which is considered the wall, a lot of people can't. They can't do it. And so you still take home a medal that says finisher, and you feel good about. That's what I need to talk about. Would you feel good about it? You would look at that medal every day going, I didn't really finish.
I know. I did 18.
You saw how disgusting.
No, if it's golf. Listen, if it was golf, 18 is completion. Congratulations, you did it.
Yeah.
In marathons, that's a little less than 2/3 to you and me. 18's not even that close to the end. Alan, I could maybe even play along if there's a rule. And if you make it to 23 miles of a 26-mile marathon, it's considered some sort of completion. 18's not that close. When you're training, Anthony, you're a runner, right?
Lapsed, but yes.
When people train for marathons,
yeah,
they get up to a half marathon. Then what's the next level you get up to past 13?
I'm not going to say that I ever personally trained for one, but you do get to levels where you try to do 15-mile, 18-mile days. You never really get – I don't think you – I can't say this for sure, but I don't think you ever actually run a marathon while you train.
Yeah,
you can get
I
your
don't think you
body
do the
up
full.
to 15 to 16 to 17. As Alan said, eventually your legs are going to get to a point where you can't feel them. Because I ran a half once, and by mile 7 or 8, I stopped feeling my legs. So you just keep going because there's nothing to hurt anymore.
Well, I think we should give you a completion medal for this year's Los Angeles Marathon.
Thank
what do
you.
you think?
I would accept.
Anthony, I think you did a great job. What half marathon did you run?
That was actually just something that
For
as a
fun.
cross-country team we did and said, let's see what you can finish in.
In high school, you mean?
Yeah, in high
Well,
school.
I'm willing to give you this year's completion medal.
You
I
got
think
it.
you did a great job.
Thank you.
Congrats.
I'm going to hang it right here on the wall,
There
on the
you go.
load-bearing wall next to Lang's name.
And I'm going to get a medal for the best talk about it, even though we ran out of time and I never.
By the way,
always
1-800-919-3776. Sad news. We lost a Jet legend. We'll talk about that coming up next on Hahn and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Progressive knows sports brings people together, but you gotta feel bad for people who don't even get it. Some people will never know what it's like to see their favorite team's hopes decided by a ping pong ball to draft the next superstar. Or not. I mean, sure, it's silly for your happiness to hinge on the success of a 20-year-old entry-level employee, but you just can't help yourself. The stress is exhilarating. Progressive can't bring people together like the draft, but we can bring your home and auto insurance together with a bundle. So switch and see if you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
New York Knicks fans, here's a total slam dunk. For a limited time, get Verizon Fios and a line of mobile for just $64.99 a month. Get Fios 300 megabit per second for $20 a month. And unlimited welcome for $45 a month plus taxes and fees when you bring your own phone. Visit a Verizon store today to learn more. For new Fios internet and mobile customers, discounts applied over 36 months. Mobile and home discount enrollment required. Plan prices require auto pay. Additional terms apply. For welcome unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic in times of congestion.
Become a Yankees Universe Fan Club member today. The Rookie and Explorer packages are now available. All Yankees Universe members receive a membership card, 2 tickets to a 2026 Yankees home game, access to a members-only website, and MLB audio at bat. Plus, Rookie members get an official New York Yankees t-shirt. A portion of all proceeds benefits pediatric cancer research at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Join Yankees Universe today at yankees.com/universe.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
It's crazy to see how much everyone's changed at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yes, he told Tim he started taking Nugenix Total T2.
The testosterone booster?
Yeah, but he said it's way more than that. It also skyrockets nitric oxide in as little as 3 hours. Tim started taking it right away, and trust me, I've already noticed results.
Wow, I might just have to go catch up with Brian.
After 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. Feel like your old self again with Total T2. Stronger, leaner, and more energized. Just text ORDER to 369-369 for your complimentary bottle of new Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone and nitric oxide booster. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's ORDER to 369-369. ORDER to 369-369.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. Product not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
Ox Spine at New York Presbyterian is always in pursuit of a better way to heal the spine. We're getting more people moving again with minimally invasive, non-surgical, and surgical treatments with innovative solutions for every back and spine condition and your unique needs. Expert spine care is available now across New York City and Westchester. Find a doctor at nyp.org/oxspine. Stay amazing. New York Presbyterian.
Just sad news to report. Matt Snell, Jet great, passed away today at the age of 84. Of course, he was great in Super Bowl III, 121 yards on the ground and a touchdown. You can make the case that he should have been the MVP of that Super Bowl, and he passes at the age of 84, and I think we can all agree that Michael would not take that. Michael would not take 84.
84.
He'd consider 94.
No, he wouldn't even consider. I don't even think he would do that. We were going to do this at 5, but he's got some travel, so we're going to talk to him now And Peter Schrager's nice enough to join us here, talk a little football till the top of the hour. You're on Hahn and Rosenberg. Thanks for a couple of minutes, man. Appreciate it.
No doubt. Hustling from the McAfee studios in Indianapolis to the airport, and hopefully back in New York tonight.
We saw this.
Yeah, I'll say you deserve better.
Yeah, we were watching it during our production meeting. When did you and Dano decide to do a Tiny Desk concert?
Yeah, I didn't know you guys were a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big fans of Tiny Desk. We like what they do. Is that PBS? Is that what that is? Or NPR?
NPR, Shrakes, NPR.
NPR.
Yeah.
Respect what they do. No, and I was wearing short pants and was getting a lot of comments. I'm not wearing socks. I say screw it. To all the haters, screw it, guys.
Now, did you at least get some delicious shrimp while you were in Indianapolis? Get some shrimp cocktail?
No. No, none of that. I wish. None of that. There was no time for that. We had to report on Alante Taylor and where he was signing. There was no time to fraternize.
That's what this week is about.
Yeah, it's big.
Hey, it's better than Shefty being in the closet.
Oh, my God.
I mean, Shefty. I didn't realize when they panned out, Shrakes, to see you and Dano in the little corner, and then to see Shefty behind the glass door in his own little studio, that was wild stuff.
It was a visual.
That is something. This has been a week for you guys.
Yeah, and I've never worked with Adam. I'm new to ESPN, and I've always known he's a madman, but I didn't realize he was like a padded walls madman, and he was pacing around, screaming into the phone, and then I would just pop my head and I'm like, you good? He's like, yeah, I'm great. I'm good. And then he would just break every story. It was like watching a maestro at work.
Yes. He loves this time of year.
Is there, Shrakes, what is considered the biggest thing? I mean, obviously here we're focused on the Jets and the Giants, but nothing huge there either. What's the biggest thing to come out of the last couple of days, in your opinion?
Well, the quantity of it all yesterday was really cool, and it felt like a big event. And it felt like the NFL stole the day from the World Baseball Classic and stole it from the NBA when the Knicks were on that West Coast trip. And there was just action. The biggest two moves, really, were the Raiders spending more money than any interior offensive lineman has ever gotten on a guy, Linderbaum, who was not it didn't get the fifth-year option picked up by the Ravens less than a year ago. So big money being spent there. And then to me, Malik Willis being told basically you're one of the 32 starters in the NFL despite 35 pass attempts over the last 2 years. So two major moves for those organizations and big money spent on guys that maybe other teams didn't value at that much money.
Well, the big story today, Geno Smith to the Jets. It's a trade rather than it be a signing because they were afraid somebody else would gobble them up. Was there legit concern that there would have been another team that would have grabbed Geno if the Jets didn't make this deal?
This was like a stopgap move. I know, and look, I know every one of the Jet fans and the memes and everyone's banging their head against the wall. They're paying Geno Smith about $1 million this year, and the Raiders are going to eat his entire salary. You get a guy who's been an NFL quarterback in about 10 different systems, has seen it all, done it all. To me, it's one of those where we know he's not the future. We also know he's an adult in the room. You could put Geno Smith under center just like you could put Kirk Cousins or Tyrod Taylor or any of these other veteran guys who have seen it all. You could put them under there and you can win a game, and at the very least, you can get these guys going on an offense and not be completely lost. I thought the last month of the season for Jets fans was as horrendous an experience any fan base has ever had to deal with. Going out there with an untested quarterback and a team that basically was told, yeah, just go out there and finish the game. It's unfair to the season ticket holders. It's unfair to the Jets fans at home. Geno Smith is not the answer to all these problems, but when another team is paying him his entire salary and you're paying him as little as possible as a veteran quarterback, it is a huge upgrade from what the situation was at the end of last year.
Now, we saw in the previous 3 years before he went to Las Vegas that he had good seasons in Seattle. How much of what last year was Geno falling off, or was it just the Raiders were that bad?
Raiders were awful. Terrible offensive line play, guys missing assignments left and right, but Geno wasn't good either. He was inaccurate, wasn't what they hoped. Now, remember, and this is the comedy of it all, like we react in real time and say, oh, I don't want Geno Smith. Last year when the Raiders made the move to get Geno Smith, everyone said, oh, the Seahawks are screwed. They have to settle for Sam Darnold, and the Raiders just got a steal with Geno Smith. A year later, it's Geno Smith is the worst quarterback in the league, and Sam Darnold is the Super Bowl MVP. This is how things go. Super Bowl winner, and Kenneth Walker was the MVP. I think there's something in between for Geno Smith. Again, it makes for great memes, and it makes for great social media activity to have a complete crash out and a meltdown over the signing of Geno Smith. They got a veteran quarterback. He's an adult in the room, and obviously he's not the future. And when you don't have the number 1 overall pick, you can't pick Mendoza. So here is a different option that they have. And guess what? They know they need to get a quarterback in the next 2 years.
Overall, what did you think they did between yesterday and today?
Good. I think they got guys at the right number. I thought the team is a better team than they are today than they were 2 days ago. Like, I thought Mucci did well. It doesn't matter. The next 2 years, the draft is where this team is going to make their bones. I know Breece Hall was belly aching a little bit about giving the franchise tag, but if you look at those weapons, you got Breece, you got Garrett Wilson, you got Mason Taylor, and you've got one of the better offensive lines in football. They will be okay. You could put them out there on the field, and oh, by the way, 5 first-round picks in the next 2 years. You better get a quarterback.
So, all right, how about the Giants, though, and the money they threw around, including getting a punter? There was a lot of Baltimore to New York kind of shuffling going on here with Harbaugh.
Yeah, and I think they wanted that. The Likely one is the big move. Yeah. Isaiah Likely is a guy who not only Harbaugh, but Greg Roman knows very well. And you look at the systems that Matt Nagy ran or was operating, it might have been Andy Reid's system, but the way that they use their tight ends, whether it be Travis Kelce or Bell or any of the different tight ends they had on the field, now they can go to multiple tight ends. They like Theo Johnson. Now you get Isaiah Likely, who's a receiving tight end, but he can block. And then, of course, you add in some of the other acquisitions that they made as far as signings, the kicker, the punter and Stout, and then today the corner with Greg Newsome. And then you bring back 2 guys that they were excited to bring back. You know, Illuminor can block. And then today, Micah McFadden's not going to win you the day, but that was a linebacker they liked. Solid day by the Giants. And yes, a very Raven feel to it, but you better believe John Harbaugh is going to have his footprint and his handprints all over every move they make.
And it seems like that's what coaches and general managers do. They go with somebody that's familiar. Look what Tennessee did. You've got a former Giant and Jet head coaches, and all they did was gobble up former Jets and Giants. Yeah.
And what a funny narrative. I said this today on McAfee. I said, I forgot that Wan'Dale Robinson was Jerry Rice. Like, they signed Wan'Dale Robinson, and all of a sudden everyone's like, oh, he knows Dable, and that's the. It's like, all right, slow down. Robert Saleh gets Jermaine Johnson and John Franklin Myers, and it's like, well, there's a familiarity there. What a home run pick. Well, it doesn't necessarily mean anything. It means the coach knows the player, and they're going to vouch for him. Getting an all-star team of ex-Giants and Jets, to me, isn't exactly home run hitting either.
Over the last couple of years.
The Tennessee Titans, everyone's doing flips because they spent a lot of money, but as I always say, you didn't win free agency in the first 2 days.
The idea of an all-star team comprised of recent Jets and Giants is ironic just in nature. It's
so much
not
winning.
Thing.
Whom the Giants and Jets opted not to re-sign to extensions.
I'm sorry, guys. Can I ask Schrags one thing from me?
Please.
Just one thing. How do you feel about how my Commanders did the last couple of days?
Well, I'll tell you, I don't think they're done. I think they've still got some work to do. Owe is a good pass rusher. He was a guy that was coveted by a bunch of teams. And they're still digging out of some contracts and some stuff that they got to go with. So how did they do? They did fine. I think they got a pass rusher that's going to start for them. And I would keep an eye on Jawan Johnson. The Niners have a pipeline, obviously, with Adam Peters there in Washington, and he's still unsigned. Maybe the number's right. Of course, they went with Debo last time around. I don't think Ayuk is the guy there. I don't think you can make that one, but Jawan Johnson would make a lot of sense.
Do you think Ayuk wants to play somewhere? Is that a thing?
I think so. I think he'd love to. I would like to think he'd still want to play football, but it was such a disaster in San Francisco, and for the way the 49ers openly talked about how that went the last year, it's not exactly a ringing endorsement. He's going to have to rebuild his career.
All right, I know you got to run. Thanks for giving us a couple of minutes, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely. Go Knicks. Let's go.
Peter Schrager,
next time we have
leaving Indianapolis on his way to the airport. Anybody who's got a commercial flight knows you want to take up as much time as possible to get there so that you don't have to have what's happening in New Orleans right now. With
that could have been my talk about it. I saw a picture of what's happening in New Orleans. That is, I think I drive, guys. If I get to the airport and there's a parking lot to the a line in the parking lot, I'm driving.
Plenty to talk about coming up. Don Hahn and Rosenberg till 6:30. Then it's Rangers hockey on ESPN New York.
Hey, guys. Alan Hahn here. I want to tell you about my friends at Rings End. So we're going to get some work done at my house. We're going to change out some windows and actually install one as well. And my guy Andrew came, just checked it out, came up with some great ideas, and we had many options we could consider. But one thing we weren't going to consider is anyone else other than Rings End. See, to me, Rings End is what you want to, who you want to work with. Why? Well, they work with pro contractors who build and remodel for a living, so the pros trust them. When I see the pros trust them, I'm like, I can trust them too. They have premium brands. They do everything from not just windows. They do doors and decking and paint, lumber, kitchens, all of it. Built to last high-end product lines, by the way, that the contractors rely on. They do it right, and they don't do it over. Now, the best part is they're not a national chain. They have regional expertise. They know your house. They know the area. They know what you need. They have 8 full-service lumber yards in Connecticut and Westchester County and 12 freestanding paint centers. Now, Rings End is family-owned and operated since 1902. That's 124 years in business to you and me, with deep Northeast roots supporting local builders and communities. And if you can't make it to the store, you can shop online at ringsend.com. So join me at ringsend.com.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum fiber, price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Definitely your worst ride heading over to the outbound George Deegan. First on the northbound side over by Fordham Road. Crash in the left lane involving a flatbed 18-wheeler. Slow crawl heading over to the Cross Bronx. Delays go back across the Triborough and up onto the Bruckner. Southbound side of the Deegan, another hit right after the Mosholu in the left lane. You're backed up onto 87 in Yonkers. Inbound George looking pretty good for both the upper and lower decks. Outbound Lincoln, both tubes. We've got some broken down buses. It's a 30 to 40-minute ride in building. Outbound Hahn going to run you about 45 minutes. Over in Jersey, Turnpike northbound, car lanes, 2 lanes back open, heading over to the Goethals Bridge. Still cleaning up that overturned tractor trailer. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
50 years from now, will jeans be wide or skinny? Will email still exist? Will guac still be extra? One thing is certain. If you won the new Millionaire for Life from the New Jersey Lottery today, you'd still be getting $1 million every year for life. That's enough money to say, bring it on, the future. I will have that guacamole at any price.
Play the new Millionaire for Life today. Anything can happen in Jersey. Must be 18 or older to buy a lottery ticket. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program may only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it could end your debt nightmare and save you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. For free information and to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, simply go online and visit DRA.com or call 800-433-8909. 800-433-8909. Again, that's 800-433-8909.
Game Time is brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time,
It's totally time.
Ooh, that was nice. Hockey Ranger tonight. They're home against the Calgary Flames. My wife was saying, how come when you were in Calgary, Bryce Salvador kept saying Calgary?
Calgary.
I said, because that's the way the Canadians say.
Calgary.
They say Detroit and Calgary.
Everybody says Detroit. That's a thing.
Well, I don't know if every Canadian, but that's just the way
it's a certain accent.
I guess. I don't know. And you know I'd love being Canadian.
True.
So that's on 880 at 6:30 right after us. The Islanders are in St. Louis to take on the Blues at 7:30, and the Nets host the Pistons at 7:30. LIU is taking on Mercyhurst, and that is in the NEC Championship, 7 o'clock, and you can catch that on ESPN 2. That's what Allen's going to be doing.
To you and me.
A little flip-flop between that and the Islanders and the Blues.
Absolutely. Fins up, baby.
Hey, they beat the Sharks. That was a nice win.
Well, that's
after losses. So
the LIU's the Sharks.
I wasn't paying attention today. I'm sorry.
What do you mean? They clinched. They're in the dance.
No, I
First
get it. I
team
just
to
didn't
go to
know their
March
nickname
Madness.
was the Sharks. Does
Damn,
that make me a
I
bad?
just
I guess
said
it makes me a bad
fins
guy.
up.
We shouted it out yesterday.
But
you were
said
not here.
fins up. And I
Shout out to our friend.
No, fins up confused me for a second.
Yeah.
God forbid, though, if I had anything to say about Ramapo,
dumped.
It'd be over.
I've said
it'd be dumped.
I've said plenty about
Did I
Ramapo.
say anything negative?
Well,
Yeah,
no.
him and Michael are not allowed.
I didn't watch.
Can't go.
I wasn't paying attention. Oh, sorry. Sorry, we're not on your radar.
No, this is how much I paid attention, okay?
Big deal.
Is that
be in the tournament.
He's an Islander guy.
Look at me at Ramapo actually doing a read.
And it was years ago. I don't know what year it was. Allen was filling in for Michael. The Islanders needed to win like a bunch of games down the stretch to make the playoffs. And Allen said, just like Finding Nemo, just keep swimming.
Yeah.
Just keep swimming.
So
that's always been in my head. And I use it sometimes, too. I think it's great. I don't know if it was yours, you stole it, who knows. But I give you credit for it. Just keep swimming. Peter. Just keep winning, keep swimming.
That's right.
So when I'm talking about the Islanders in St. Louis take on the Blues, after they win against, he says fins up.
Yeah.
So I was immediately drawn to, all right, is that what the Islanders are using now, like fins up?
Right.
Not knowing that LIU's the Sharks.
Totally get it. I wouldn't get it.
But now he thinks I was disrespecting
Please,
LIU. What is Ramapo? What's their nickname?
The Moose.
Blasphemer! No, they're the Roadrunners.
The Ramapo Roadrunners.
When you think Ramapo.
And just like LIU, there's not a Roadrunner to be found on campus, and there's no shark to be found on campus.
Well, at least it's an
at
island.
LIU.
There
No,
are
Long
sharks.
Island, that's closer.
We have sharks.
They're closer to it.
Jesus.
Well, I think it's just the R thing, and I don't know. Can you have a
Alliteration.
Roadrunner in New Jersey? Can you look that up?
What is a Roadrunner? Is a Roadrunner a real animal?
Meep.
Yeah, they're just smaller than the cartoon.
That's too bad.
I can't.
You're saying that the cartoon wasn't based in reality?
Listen.
Are you
Not as
telling
big
me?
as a coyote?
Are you telling me there isn't a company called Acme?
I believe it.
There is actually.
I know, but they sell food.
You know there was a company called Acme.
But do they make, what was that thing?
The Anvil?
The Anvil. Is there an Acme Anvil? Is there an Acme Dynamite company?
Wow.
That poor Coyote, man. Who had it worse? Who had it worse?
First of all.
The Coyote or the Generals taking on the Harlem Globetrotters?
I'll tell you what.
That's a
the
great
resiliency
comp.
that Wile E showed was inspirational.
You call him by his first name.
I've known it for a long time.
Yeah, Wile E. You don't go by Coyote.
You know what his nickname was? What he called himself whenever he went full name.
Genius.
Yeah, Wild E. Coyote. Super genius.
Super genius.
Lost a little when he started talking. I liked this. The
Didn't
sign.
I don't know he ever started talking.
No, the silent ones were better. Just the music.
I did not know he ever
and
talked.
the meep, of course. You
Well,
needed
no,
the
meep
Had
doesn't
to have
count.
That was very important.
But the logo of the Roadrunner is not from the cartoon.
Oh.
Hey, there were. Did you see there were dolphins today in the East River?
No.
Yeah.
I saw the.
How did dolphins
It
get
happens on
here?
occasion. It's a little early for it to happen, but
think?
when the weather starts to warm up, and apparently the river gets a little cleaner when it starts to warm up.
Wow.
So there's like maybe a few less bodies. I guess most people hurl themselves off the bridges in the wintertime.
God.
but there were dolphins.
Well, it was frozen for a while.
Are you
it
telling
really
me it's not a thing?
Difficult. No, it is very much a thing. When we were at Seaport, we saw it, unfortunately, regularly.
It was. I don't even know if that's for the air, but he told me stories when we were at the Seaport.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
There were some tough times. It was kind of, not kind of. It was actually it's very sad.
Really?
Yeah.
When did you guys share this?
Well, he told me the story last playoff run. They had me on. What was that? Get Up, right? Or no? I took a tour. No, they weren't going to put me on the air.
Yeah, no, you came and hung out.
No, I came to hang out.
Yeah,
they put me on the air. Then you know that it's ESPN's last day. ESPN, like CNN,
they're out of it.
They've got the end of the world video. It says in the thing, put Don on TV and then play the end of the world video.
That's it.
Right. So no, I know it shows that I actually do have some belief in myself.
Right.
That I actually believed into the fantasy.
Yeah.
That I was at the Seaport because I was on Get Up, and then I realized no, I was just a guest. They were just showing me around.
You had to be somewhere nearby, and I said, "Come hang out."
Oh wait, but you didn't actually go on the air. You just went and hung out.
Yeah.
That was my big meeting.
Yes.
Over at the Four Seasons.
Yeah.
Big meeting.
How'd it work out?
Well, guess what? It worked out.
It worked out pretty good for you, didn't it?
It did.
I mean,
it did.
Yeah.
It was like 4th and 20 at the time.
On pretty good.
4th and 20.
Yeah, but it worked out. But no, you had me swing by, and he told me that
swing by
it
and
was routine.
swing in.
They're taking bodies out of the river.
It was, it's not great.
You've seen that?
Yeah.
You've seen them taking bodies.
Everything stopped.
And that's the Brooklyn Bridge that was there.
That
right?
is the
'Cause
Brooklyn
Bridge, I guess, is still like a thing.
A destination for body tossing.
Yes.
Well, and sometimes it's against your own will.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah. I've had
like
few.
a Sopranos situation?
I think so.
A few of the boys in blue have suggested that this one was not done purposely.
Yeah. Well, it was done purposely by someone.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, it was.
Right.
Somebody wanted that result.
It was not It was not self-aided.
So this happens every once in a while. And it's usually a player. It's usually an analyst. But now we're hearing it again from Steve Kerr, head coach of the Golden State Warriors. Here's what he had to say about the game situation, which apparently it's a situation now, the schedule in the NBA.
I know this will not be a popular opinion in the league office, but I will continue to say it because it's obvious we need to play fewer games. We need to take 10 games off the schedule. I think it would be great for the league. And I get it. It's revenue, and you'd have to get everybody to agree to take a little less money. And that's a really hard thing to do. But what I know about the league, about coaching, about how hard it is to play the modern game with the pace and the space, I think it would be a more competitive and healthier league if we played fewer games.
But here's the angle I'm going to take.
What is the reason that you're like? I understand what he's saying, but I don't know what the real reason is. Don't tell me pace, because again, what you're comparing and what really bothers me here is that Steve played in the league. Like he played. He knows the difference because he not only played in the league, now he's coaching the league for a long time. He knows how different life is. Never mind for the guys in the 70s. The guys in the 90s, and that was him. There's a much different lifestyle that these players enjoy, that those players couldn't even fathom because the technology wasn't where it was. The game was more physical, but it was slower, but it was still very physical. Now it's faster, so there is a lot more the wear and tear on soft tissue, injury situations, a lot more done on the joints because of the way the Euro step is probably one of the most dangerous things to knees and ankles that you can imagine. A lot of the things that players do today that they never did then. So I understand when you're talking about how it's just a faster game and that takes a lot more out of the body. But what I keep arguing is, but the body has a lot more that it can use to repair itself that those players didn't have 30 years ago. How is it not the same? I don't understand it.
I think Kerr is just trying to support his players
who are tired.
And the thing that bothers me is if they did decide to give that money back and reduce it to 72 games, are Oh, now you got to play 55 games in order to be eligible for postseason awards. There'll still be load management because their problem is that they don't want to admit it, and I keep circling back to this, their regular season doesn't matter, and these players don't want to play 82 games when the most of their games don't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them.
You're right, and I hate that you're right.
Because here's what Stephen A. had to say on First Take. Here we go.
Let me make people very, very uncomfortable with what I'm about to say. I don't hear hockey players talking about playing less games. I don't hear that. I mean, we might talk about, and baseball is obviously not nearly as taxing on the physical body as basketball is. We understand that. But they also understand that even though they would prefer not to have to play 162 games, they do, when they're reminded that that's why the revenue is what it is, they're like, okay. So I'm just simply saying that you can't have your cake and eat it too. If you're Steve Kerr, don't talk about what's good for the game while talking about keeping the money if you players or keeping the money if you coaches. Your argument would be far more profound if Steve Kerr came out and said, you know what, let's give back some of these monies. Let's calculate it. Let's see what the aggregate is. And let's subtract 10 games worth of pay for this. You would have a more substantive argument if you did that. But when you never talk about giving the money back, but you talk about giving some of the workload back, that is more than hypocritical.
Now, from the hockey standpoint, because I've seen some of the comments, well, they don't play as many minutes. Believe me, the 20 minutes that an NHL player plays is way more taxing than the 35, 40 minutes that NBA players. Because a lot of times you just kind of standing there.
And by the way, pace, the NHL game,
there's never
try to watch the two sports from the 90s and now, and it's not recognizable.
And listen, Ovechkin might be standing around. Ovechkin's also 40.
Yeah.
Okay. But most of the guys are going to be skating up and down. But whatever. But here's the dirty little secret nobody wants to say. 20 of your 30 teams make the postseason, and the other 10 are tanking. So a player on a tanking team is like, I'm not going to sit there and kill myself 82 games. We're not trying to win. We can eat less games. And then you got the other teams. They know they're going to the playoffs. They're locked in. They're not good enough to be a 1 seed, but they're not bad enough to be out of the playoffs. So they're like, what am I killing myself for? We're going to be a 7 seed, 6 seed, 9 seed, whatever. We don't care. And then the top teams are like, does it really make a difference if I'm 1 or 2 or 3? We've seen teams not really care about finishing with the best record. Your regular season doesn't matter compared to, why is football so popular? Football's popular because every game means something because there's only 17 of them, soon to be 18.
And maybe 19 or 20.
And by the way, didn't we also say that when you get to 18 at some point, some coach is going to decide in the middle of the season when you're playing a bad team, maybe I don't want to play all my guys.
And baseball still,
that's happening.
Of the 4 major sports, the least amount of teams make the postseason, even though it's starting to grow. Still, you don't want to be a wild card team because you're playing the best of 3. You want to win your division. So those games still mean something. And you can't expect somebody to play all 162. You're not going to get that mad. They may miss a few games here and there, but it's not that big of a deal. All right? Day game after night game because you're playing so many games. So you almost want to exclude baseball from the conversation. But I understand the diehards. And, Alan, I don't mean to rub it in your face because you understand why these games are supposed to matter. But do you really think it has anything to do with pace? Do you really think that they're exhausted? Or are they looking at it and saying, hey, these games, the regular season doesn't matter enough for me to bust my ass for 82 games. I'm taking nights off. Sorry. And there are just too many damn
I think
games.
It has become part of the culture, and I think it just becomes something that once it starts to happen, it's impossible. What do you guys always used to say? Put the toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah, milk back in the udder.
Milk back in the udder too.
Once it starts to happen, then everybody else I think we need that. And now it becomes a thing. Here's a great example. Jason Tatum, as you know, made his return.
J-Tot,
right? Okay. During the weekend. And the first words that were said before the game that he played were words that you didn't believe. And the words were, no minutes restriction. Now, how many players do you know that have come back from an injury and they're always like, well, he's under a minutes restriction. We're going to manage his minutes. And then, well, he's not going to play in the next game. Like, you're always trying to just be careful because it's called ramp up, right? Ramp him back up. He had no minutes restriction. He has not had a minutes restriction. At least that's what they're saying. So if he's coming back off of an Achilles, generally like within 10 months of the surgery. So we're not talking about he's been off for a year or a year and a half, what the majority of people have done. He came back relatively early with no minutes restriction. But yet, players who, sprained an ankle and they missed a week, now they're on a minutes restriction. We're going to ramp them back up. I don't understand how that is all the same, right? Like, why are there rules in that case but not here?
Because
why is it that a player can just shut it down and it's fine, or minutes restrictions and all the other stuff? I know what they're doing, Mitchell Robinson. They're calling it injury management. You know what they're doing? They're lessening the likelihood that he could injure his ankle again because he's done it twice, and they know the third time is not good.
Well, if he plays less games, it's less likely to happen during a game, plus it's less wear and tear on the body.
That's
combination
it.
of both.
And when the playoffs come, guess what? All bets are off.
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
Now we're going to go for it.
And then if it goes, it goes. But that's what it is. It's hoping. It's just lessening the likelihood. It's playing the percentages. That's all it is. That is not saying, well, because how do you know that he won't just misstep in a game that he is playing in? You don't. But by taking the games away, you're taking away the likelihood. That's all we're doing here. We're just playing this game. This is the best part. Nobody wants to play anymore every night. Right. Here's a great example. So we know Mikal Bridges never misses a night, right? So he's up there. There's 66 to 65 games are being played by all the teams so far in the NBA. You know how many players have played 66 or 65 of them?
How many?
6.
Wow.
And none of them are stars. None of them. How far down the list do I have to go before I find like a superstar name? Somebody that is there, superstar level. I'm still scrolling.
Wow.
Again, some of these are names Is Karl Anthony Towns a superstar? Because he's 32nd on the list of most games played this season.
That's
the first name that comes up. That's like,
right?
This guy, 62 games.
It's pretty good, actually.
All right, wait, I'm going to keep going. Jalen Brunson's at 61. He's 40th on the list. All right? Like
big time star.
I am trying to find
no other like all NBA level
big time star. Big time. Tyrese Maxey's at 61.
Brown?
He's also 40.
Where's Jaylen Brown?
Yeah, Jaylen Brown has to be high.
It's still going.
He couldn't have taken off many games this year. Come on.
I'm scrolling. I'm at 76 now on the list, players, before I'm getting to any of those names that make you go, oh, wait, that's a star. Donovan Mitchell, 57. He's 95th on the list of players. Jaylen Brown, 57, 95th on the list. He's tied.
Even this year, Jaylen Brown's
So you
missed
almost
that many?
go 100 players before you get somebody that's even in the MVP conversation. And that's why they have to make these rules, guys. That's why they have to say 65. Cade Cunningham's at 56, 115 on the list. Why am I doing this? And because I'm trying to make the point that this is a league where if the best players aren't saying, I ain't missing a night, I'm playing every night.
Yeah,
what are the rest of the players going to say? But yet, now we're fighting. It shouldn't be 65 games. That's not right. Why do we make this number? Why do we make this rule? Because we're saying to you, please just play 80% of the games. Just play 80% of the games. Don't even play 100. We're lowering the standard. We continue to with this sport. And the more you do it, the more they're going to take. Clearly.
1-800-919-3776. We've got more on this. We also have E&N, which is coming up at 6 o'clock. And then, of course, we're going to hand it off to the Rangers and the Flames. That's all coming up next. It's Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. We are hanging out with you until 6:30. But I need to let you know, it's just like the New Jersey Devils protect their home ice, Viking Pest Control protects your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the New Jersey Devils, Viking brings 45 years of trusted experience and expert service to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, and even mosquitoes out of your zone. Their local team builds a personalized game plan that actually works. And when you bundle pest control with mosquito services, you score big savings. I use them. It's that time of year. It's getting warmer out. The ants are coming back. Some of the bees, hornets, It's time to really look it up. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com, protecting your home inside and out.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-568-2790. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-568-2790. That's 800-568-2790. For $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with, call Big Lou at 800-568-2790.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you can put your sports IQ to work on the games you know best. It's not you against the house. It's you participating in a live market. Buy or sell your predictions all game long. Trade every play with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
And now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Just a bad ride out there on the roads, no matter where you're headed. We've got an issue on the outbound Gowanus in Brooklyn, right after the Prospect, a crash in the right lane. Ambulance on the scene. Add that to the volume. You're not moving much from the LA and Queens. Still your worst ride to the outbound George Deegan northbound over by Fordham Road. Accident involving a flatbed 18-wheeler. You're crawling heading over to the Cross Bronx from the Triborough and the Bruckner. Southbound Deegan just picked up that collision by the Mosholu. Still bumper to bumper there and backed up onto 87 in Yonkers. Inbound George about 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln and Ernie about 30 to 40. They picked up those broken down buses in the tubes. Outbound Holland about a 45-minute ride. This report is sponsored by the New York City Department of Transportation. Speeding ruins lives. Drivers, watch out for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to less than 5 miles an hour. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Smalls here. Did you know there are many ways to do your taxes with H&R Block? You can go to a local office and get expert help in person, or you can choose virtual tax prep and get expert help without leaving home. Or you can even do them yourself online with live human help standing by. Whatever you choose, you can file with confidence, having H&R Block's 70-plus years of tax expertise in your corner. Switch today and file your way at hrblock.com.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering 25% off windows and doors or 0% APR for 72 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
Get ready for Rickleball Madness Friday, March 20th. ESPN New York is taking over pickleball heaven in Medford, New York. Catch a live broadcast of DPH on Rothenberg starting at 6 a.m. Then stick around for our social ladder pickleball tournament. We'll crown our champions, then roll right into a college hoops watch party to cap off the day. Sign up now on the ESPN New York app. Spots are limited. Rickleball Madness brought to you by Pickleball Heaven, the new standard of indoor pickleball. All right, let's get back to the busy phones talking about,
shall we,
everything that's going on with the NBA, and is the regular season to blame, not mattering, or is there really a difference in the way that they play, that expecting these athletes to give it 82 games is too much? Was Steve Kerr right, wrong? Is Stephen A. right, wrong? Al in the Bronx, you're on ESPN New York. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, hey guys, how you guys doing?
Good.
No, I just wanted to talk about that. I feel like we're doing the players a disservice by talking about load management without giving it context. Alan was making a point while I was on the phone with Anthony, and the stars play every night. The stars play every night. I mean, how many of these guys do you think don't want to play basketball? I think they want to play. I think the teams are probably keeping them out at certain points. But the load management. Go ahead.
No,
I'm sorry.
But didn't we just? But Alan did just go through the list in terms of stars, like in terms of big superstars. You saw how far we had to go down the list to get to the big stars.
Right. So the point that I'm making is that the load management conversation is usually made by people who don't watch the sport every night. You know, the tanking teams, they sit players out because they're trying to tank. That happens, and that's terrible. That's terrible. But the guys play every night. Look at the Knicks. We could only mention one time this year where Karl Anthony Towns sat out of a game, and he was probably healthy. But most of the time, if they're
it's
healthy,
legit injuries. Like that's the funny thing is, as I was doing this list, I got up to 146 to find Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP. 146 players, right? But among the top 146, the entire Knicks starting five is in there.
The Knicks are the one team that don't play that game.
And I think the
I have
part
one
of
more question before I get cut off. One more question.
Before you ask this question, because I just want to get this part out too. I think the bigger issue that I would have as somebody that consumes the NBA literally every night, and I would think that Steve Kerr should know this.
Yeah, he should.
Is
absolutely
the problem with the NBA in comparison to the other sports is it feels like NBA players are fine with not playing. And you would think that not playing would drive you crazy. Like, what do you mean I'm not playing? I want to play. Like, you always want to play. That's the part that I feel like the NBA has this casual sense of, yeah, all right, I'm off tonight. I'm good. And
so
I don't know if that's the best
ask,
thing. That's not the best thing for
you.
you.
The last question, and I'll let you guys. I'm sorry, and I'll get off. Is Alan and Don? They're around NBA players. They're around NHL players all the time. How do the NBA players look walking after their careers are over? Walking around.
But you know what though? It's the older era guys.
Right. Well, the newer era guys are still playing.
Yeah, they're still playing. It's hard to see because there's talking about how harder the game is on the body. We'll find out in 20 years if they're right. But I a lot of times we find, and Don, you probably see this a lot with the NHL. The players who take care of themselves after their careers, they're all right. The players who don't let it go, it's like anybody in life.
Right. No, listen.
Look, football. I'm sorry.
Yeah, leave
every
football
single
out
one
of
of
it.
those
They're all-
guys.
yeah.
The physically, it's just that takes a lot of the body.
It's completely different.
But for the most part, if I see the guys that take care of themselves after their careers are over and don't let it go,
I kind of
right.
Basketball's a little hard to discuss there because the general physical size of these men lead to a lot of. If you are 6'8",
typical issues.
If you're 6'8" and you never play in the NBA, in your 60s you might have a couple of things going on from wear and tear on your body.
Yeah.
However, NBA players are not risking their lives when they play the sport. When you're an NFL athlete, you are risking your life.
Yes.
That is, you are saying, I may not make it to be an old man. I may have brain damage. I may have CTE. But I'm risking it for this game and the money and the things it can bring for my family.
Absolutely.
That's not basketball.
But
we can't confuse those conversations.
But he brings up a really interesting point. Like, if a basketball player were to say to you, listen, I look at the old-time guys, man, and they're 50 years old, and they're still relatively young men, and they've got bad backs, and they've got bad knees, and they can't lift their kids, and they have trouble going up the stairs. I don't want that to be me. I want to be able to have a life after basketball. I want to be able to grow old and not have arthritis and not walk with a limp. As much as I understand that, do you think any of the people that follow the sport want to hear that you're saving yourself for retirement with the money that you're making and the money that I pay to consume the product? I want a guy that's out there sacrificing himself. And as much as it sounds ridiculous to hear Ray Lucas say he would do it all over again with all the damage he's done to his neck and his brain and all that, like, as a fan, you're like, yeah, I love that guy. And it sounds barbaric, but it's true. It's like, I don't want to hear that guy did load management or didn't play X amount of minutes or didn't dive for that loose ball because he's thinking about 20 years from now that he doesn't want to have to limp or have trouble getting out of the car. Like, it makes sense, but for us, for the fan, like, you're like, no, man, I want to hear about how you care so much that you want to win and you want to entertain it. Like, I see both sides of it, but I talk to a guy like Ken Danico who's really fit. Like, Kenny still works out, but you could see he comes up those stairs to the booth and his knees are.
How you doing coming upstairs?
I'm not doing well either.
All right, so,
but I'm just. But the point is that if Danico tells you, he would do it all over again.
Oh, it's worth
because
everything.
he'd break his face to block a shot if it meant his team winning the game. We love people like that. We don't. As much as it makes sense, guys. Do you really want to hear a player say, "I got to go for that ball"? But you know what? I don't. I got life after basketball, man. And no, you don't want to hear that.
No, you don't. But look, you want to cut the season down because it's better on the body. Would it be better for the sport, the NBA? Of course it would. Because guess what we don't do anymore? Well, it's a long season. It doesn't matter, right? Like, when you have those shortened seasons we had with lockouts, 99 and 2011, the shortened season puts more urgency into the games. So, of course, what Kerr is saying, don't give me the player health excuse. But if you want to talk about health of the game, give me games like they do in Europe. Team plays on Thursday and Saturday or Friday and Sunday, and that's it. And then and Monday through, you are getting your body's right. You're practicing so the teams are fundamentally better. The game would be better. But the problem is you'd have to have a 52-game season or a 62-game season, and no one wants that because money.
Because of the revenue. But you know what's interesting?
But it would be better for the sport.
I've thought about that. Like the NHL's actually going to an 84-game schedule next year because of the new teams they brought in. They want everybody to be able to play.
Yeah.
And it seems silly that the Rangers Devils only playing 3 times. So they want to get back to 4 games in the division. So they're adding 2 more games. And I thought to myself, the reason football is so popular is it's once a week.
Yeah.
And all the games are important.
Urgency.
Can you imagine if you had like a 50-game schedule in the NHL, how important those games would be? They'd be spread out more often. We talked about it last week with the Devils having a 7-game homestand. Like, you tax the fans. Like, you got 3 games and 4 nights at home. It's like, dude, I don't know, man. I can go to the one game, and I don't know if I can go to all the games. And so there's less sense of urgency. Maybe not for the Devils because they're struggling to get into the playoffs, but it's like sometimes the games pile up too much. Like, the ratings suffer. The ratings would go up. The attendance would go up if there were less games. If they took that angle and didn't even bring up it's too hard for the players, but if they came up with an angle, how much better it would be, then maybe you'd gain some traction.
You wouldn't need an NBA Cup.
Right.
You could have it. You can still have your All-Star break. Think about this. The NBA season, regular season, same as NHL, is maybe the NHL is a little bit longer as far as duration. but it's the same amount of games.
Right.
But weekends, if we just did weekends, it's 26 weekends. So as I said, if you only had games from Thursday to Sunday, you'd have a 52-ish, right? 52-game season. So you're losing 30 games. Would the players be healthy?
Yeah.
Physically, right? Would the game be better because you'd have more time to work on fundamentals, work on team structure, defense, all that stuff? There'd be no back-to-backs. Every game, every weekend. Are you kidding me? Every game would be like life or death because...
Theoretically.
Well, think about it.
But things do, you don't know that it's going to end up being that way. But that's in theory what could happen from it.
Well, that's what you would expect.
That's what you'd hope. That's what you'd hope. But when the standard changes, Don, and all of a sudden it's become something else, does it inherently just keep swinging? And you go, well, now that it's less games, now we have more time off. I still need to get a few games here. I hear what you're saying. In theory, that would be ideal.
You first of all, I would say you can't win a postseason award if you have a 52-game season where you only play on weekends. You couldn't miss more than 5 games, and how could you win any type of award?
52?
Yeah.
What is it now? 65?
65 out of 82. It's 20%. You can get 20% off. I always say that.
Yeah. So 52. So 52. You're right. Couldn't be. It's around that.
Yeah.
Right. No. 10 is 20%.
It's 10. Right.
So in theory, 42 games.
You really wouldn't want to go 42, but in essence, you're looking at if you're really keeping it to the same standard. But why would you do 20%? It should be 10%.
Well, yeah, it should be lower even if the numbers
because
low.
you look at all the extra time you have. There's no need for load management. You've got once you're done Sunday, if you play Sunday, you don't play again until Thursday or Friday. Are you kidding?
I used to have
That's the only way that would work.
A buddy of mine from Sports Phone, we used to have this fight about baseball and football, and he gave me a theory that blew my mind at the time, and I want to run it by you guys.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I like it.
It's coming up next. Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN.
This guy's a pro.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. And here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's 10 chances to play all tourney long, from game props and money lines to spreads, totals, futures, and so much more. You can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at a bigger payout. However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. FanDuel, it's time to dance. Must be 21 and older and physically present in New York. Must apply select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions do apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY at 467369.
25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Check it in a year, check it in 5. This ain't optimum 5, but price is still alive. 25 a month, 5 whole years. Same sweet number in your ears. Get Optimum famously fast fiber internet. Optimum.com/25 for 5. Or call 8884-OPTIMUM. Terms apply. See Optimum.com for details.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. Rings End is your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. They're your store for quality with a full line of brilliant and durable Benjamin Moore paints. They're your store for inspiration with thousands of colors and a variety of sheens. And Rings End is your store for expertise with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. Insist on Benjamin Moore paint from Rings End because the gorgeous color you love can't be matched in another brand of paint.
More people trust their hearts to New York Presbyterian than any other hospital in New York. It's because New York Presbyterian has the most experienced cardiovascular doctors, treating a full range of heart conditions, from heart failure to valve repair, with the most advanced treatments. Find a doctor at nyp.org/heart. New York Presbyterian. New York Presbyterian Hospital, based on U.S. News & World Report 2025 to 2026 cardiology, heart, and vascular surgery rankings.
Empower. Ellie here is getting the sleeve she's always dreamed of. She worked with Empower and planned for her next move, so she got good at money. Now she can be a little bad. Oh, by the way, you spelled journey wrong. No worries. She can afford the cover-up, too. Ooh, check out my tat. It says, invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Friday, March 20th at Pickleball Heaven in Medford, Long Island. Play with them, play against them, and we didn't change the name. It's still Pickleball Madness.
Meet Rick DiPietro and see his hot, sexy body and play pickleball with him. Watch college basketball with him. What a treat that'll be. Get to play pickleball with Rick and Dave, and it's going to be great.
Tell him how to sign up, Dave.
All you do, there's a little tile on the ESPN New York app. Click on that tile, it'll lead you to how you can join, and away you go.
Pickleball Madness is brought to you by Pickleball Heaven and ESPN New York.
Rangers fans, it's time for hockey, and the action begins tonight at Rivercrest with Team ESPN New York and Ultra. Whether you need a pregame spot or you're looking for the right Rangers bar to watch the game versus the Flames, Rivercrest is your destination. The party tips off at 6:30 p.m., and Team ESPN will be giving away plenty of ESPN prizes. Join fellow Rangers fans tonight at 3315 Ditmars Boulevard in Astoria and enjoy Ultra Draft and bottle specials all day long. It's all happening at Rivercrest.
ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery to give away a pair of tickets to see the New York Knicks take on Charlotte on Sunday, April 12th. It's easy to enter. Just stop by Calandra's Bakery at 234 Bloomfield Avenue in Caldwell, New Jersey before April 7th to enter in person. Brought to you by Calandra's Bakery in Caldwell, home of fresh bread, classic Italian pastries, and traditions baked daily. And if you go there, make reservations to be at the event coming up on Wednesday.
Yep.
Next Wednesday, and we're going to be there for the Ranger Devil Watch Party, which is not nothing. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, honoring a tease.
Yes, please.
So Bill McNulty played for Seton Hall, and he was from Connecticut, worked at Sports Phone with me, and a big basketball guy, big baseball guy. Loved the Cubs and the Bears, even though he was from New York. And we'd always battle, like, what's better, baseball or football? Baseball. And this is going back like 30 years ago. And he brought up a great point. He's like, football's all about the games. There's only 16 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, so I'll update it for now. He says, imagine baseball had a 16-game schedule, and your starting pitcher, like with the Yankees, is Garrett Cole. He would be like the quarterback of your baseball team. They would all play every game. He says, can you imagine how big that game would be if there were only 16 of them? And think about it. Like if every Sunday during the summertime.
You would hate
you only hate it because of what you're used to. And like records wouldn't matter anymore, right? Because obviously you'd never get.
I like the point because it does point out how now everything suddenly becomes more urgent. The emphasis on one game, right?
If you will.
On the syllable. But because it's not a physically taxing sport, you'd sit there going, can't we just do another one this weekend? Like, what? Can't we? They used to play 2 in one day.
Right.
Okay? Like you would think that. But it does give the great example of the urgency and why football is it is what it is, because this is the only game, so we all better be ready for it. It's the only game, so all my chores and other crap I have to do around the house, I better get this done on Saturday because I need Sunday at 1 o'clock. Like, it does put an urgency and make it an event But I still think you can do it NBA-wise and NHL-wise if you picked. Now, would you go up against the NFL? Does it make sense for the season, which some people argue should be in the summer? But would you be against playing the NBA games early in the week, like during the week, Monday through Thursday, and then have the weekend off? Because you don't want to go up against the NFL. It's become that big of a monster.
That's an interesting point. I just think this. Weekends seems a bit overly reduced. And while 162, that number has meaning, and I love sort of the casualness of baseball, there is something about it just being a part of your nightly life that makes it fun. It would mean, if they could come up with some middle ground, I don't know what that number would be.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Baseball could be 82, and you wouldn't notice it. Baseball could be 82. Cut it in half.
You go full in half.
Wouldn't know.
If you played every other day in baseball, then you get half the games. Again, the records would and people would freak out because there is a component to the numbers.
The religion.
Well, the problem is it throws off the whole concept of a series, though.
Well, because playing two.
You're playing two. So you're playing two 2-game series every week.
Feel like 4 games, and then, of course, we have the getaway game, so that's got to be played in the afternoon. And what if it rains? It's like,
that's the thing.
There is this feeling that back in the, in 1930, when there was nothing to do ever, we need a game every day because we need something to do. Now it feels like
I'm going to ask you
every night, every single night. That's what the same thing I think with the NBA. What if you
played a series and then had a couple of nights off? Then you played another series, a couple of nights off.
You'd get more out of your start. You would get 20-game winners again.
Now, you can only do this. But you can only do this if you make sure you have dome stadiums and everything because you really would mess things up.
Yes.
Listen, we're just used to it because you're right. It's less taxing, and they started out playing 154 and then 162, and there's revenue. And let's face it, you've got these regional television networks that are hemorrhaging money. They don't want to hear about less games. Right? They don't want to hear that if you're.
Well, they actually do need less games because it's less for them to have to.
That's
do.
also it's less of a lift for them too.
Might actually help them.
Now, also, can we just wipe out midweek day games? Wipe them all out. Get them all off the schedule because
nobody goes.
When you get away the flyaway day, now there's no longer that travel day because you have a day off.
Yeah.
You can keep them all night games. The idea that in the middle of the spring or fall, you're playing on a Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock. It's lunacy.
Well,
who's going?
You're not getting anybody.
What you're doing is you're literally throwing that game away. It's like we don't care about ratings, we don't care about attendance, but we have to have a day game because we got to fly across the country and play tomorrow, so we got to have a day game.
Right.
Like, what other sport do you see that happen?
That you get rid of those. If you just got rid of enough, you added just the travel days. You get the number down to like 115 something. These are wasted games. I'm sorry. Who's watching these?
And I also I know we don't care about the West Coast, but I remember having a conversation with Randy Hahn, who's the play-by-play voice of the San Jose Sharks on TV.
Alan's cousin.
Yeah, sure.
And like, and they were like on an East Coast. They were going to play. They were on a trip 5 games east, and I'm like, that's got to kill your network because now you've got 5 games that have a 3:30 pregame, 4 o'clock faceoff.
Yeah,
during the week.
Yeah,
like so you're talking about a hockey game on a Tuesday, and people are at work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting home, and the game's like at the end of the second period.
I never have thought about that.
It's crazy.
For all the time I spend thinking about West Coast tips, and West Coast football, I've never thought about when your West Coast basketball or baseball team is on an East Coast run and they're playing at 4 or 4:30.
Yeah.
So imagine the Dodgers here to take on the Yankees. Big series, right? And for some reason that's during the week. So out in L.A., you're going to have
4 o'clock.
2 4 o'clock starts and possibly a 1 o'clock start here, which would be, a 10 o'clock start out there.
That's why they never.
Yeah, that's
L.A. is always here in New York.
But
on a weekend.
But Angels, Mariners,
they get
those
teams.
Like think about how that must affect your ratings. When I was talking about it, when Brandon Tierney was out in San Francisco and he worked there, it was crazy. Like they were his afternoon show in San Francisco would not be on the air when the Giants, because they had the Oakland A's on his radio station, came out east.
Yeah.
Because then, the show would start to be a pregame. It's crazy. That's why, again, if I'm president, Central Time Zone across the country,
You move on. And I'm waiting to see, because a lot of people talk about Stephen A. running. Not enough people have talked about whether Don LaGreca will run in 2028.
No, I would. That's a ticket that I would support.
Stephen A. and Don Juan?
Well, forget it. That's a juggernaut. I don't even think it's fair.
Yeah.
There might be rules against it.
Yeah. It would be rigged.
I mean, who are you taking out?
That's who are you taking out?
That would be no. Right?
That's the campaign slogan.
Smith and LaGreca.
Who you taking out?
Where's Don Juan LaGreca when I'm looking for him?
And the answer is we're taking out everyone.
That's right. Anyone who gets in their way. You kidding me?
Be excited.
You get the Central Time Zone.
They win, right? Let's say they win the nomination. Balloon's coming down. Grabs the mic. Just starts riffing. Just starts singing. Top of his lungs.
Yeah. Performing.
Couldn't you see it?
And the mic breaks.
Don't Stop Believing. Some song like
yelling,
that.
look at this garbage. Look at this garbage. What a speech.
How about the debate? The debate alone. Forget it. Off the top.
And if they did so if Don's the VP.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in the VP debate.
He feels VP, doesn't he? He gives VP.
Yeah. No, he's giving VP.
Yeah.
And then
I give Vance vibes. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was thinking more
like just
my man from Minnesota, whose name I'm forgetting right now. Why am I forgetting my man's name?
I don't know. What about Dan Quayle?
Kamala's running mate in the last election.
I can picture him, but I can't think of his name.
Tim, what's his?
Not Tim Kaine.
No,
Tim Walz.
Tim Walz.
You give Tim Walz energy, football coach vibes. You know what I mean? You're kickboxer Don.
Do I give Dan Quayle vibes?
No.
Why are you going Quayle?
Yeah,
why are you going Quayle and Vance? I'm not going Quayle and Vance.
Not Quayle.
No, you're not giving Quayle. By the way, Quayle, what a moment in time.
Yeah.
People, if you miss Dan
You're
Quayle,
no John Kennedy.
If you miss Dan Quayle, you're like, who is that? It would be like trivia for young people.
But that's when politics was fun.
But that's just fun. Dan Quayle was just fun.
It was fun. Potato.
Yeah, who needs to know how to spell potato? God, I got to ask my parents. I somehow got an autographed picture of Dan Quayle.
Nice.
And I don't know why.
Why not?
I don't know what the riff was, though. I don't know what I don't know what letter I sent.
Handsome guy.
That led to me getting the picture. Because it wasn't
Dan Quayle.
No, because it wasn't because my family voted for him. So I'm trying to figure out why that happened.
This is Ballard's Rashawn Gary cards of Jace.
Oh my, no.
Wow.
By the way, I'll trade you my Dan Quayle signed photo for Ballard's Rashawn Gary Opeachy Premier rookie card.
I know Peachy did football.
Combined worth 6 cents.
Well, anyway, I'd vote for you, Don.
That's right.
I really appreciate that. See us live from the Irish exit at Moynihan train station Friday. This Friday, March 13th.
Friday.
Before the semifinal round of the Big East tournament. Stop by before heading to the Garden or before your commute home. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg live from the Irish exit at Moynihan train station starting at 3 p.m. Friday, March 13th. Just steps away from Madison Square Garden and Penn Station. Brought to you by Schweppes Above the Rim Refreshment. Feel the madness and refresh your game with a Schweppes Seltzer or Seltzer Ginger Ale, Sam Adams, and Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea available at Avendia and the Rutherford. Must be 21 or older to purchase. Please drink responsibly. ENN is next after Peter talks to you about an app.
Well, I'm going to. It's FanDuel, Don. And right now, new FanDuel customers get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days if your bet loses. Here's how it works. You place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That's 10 chances to play all tourney long. From game props and money lines to spreads, totals, futures, and more, you can even mix things up with same-game parlays for a shot at bigger payouts, all right? However you want to fill out your bracket, FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the action day after day. Visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. FanDuel, it's time to dance. 21 and over, physically present in New York. Must apply, select token each day. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 877-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. That's ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN. ZipRecruiter.com/ESPN.
ZipRecruiter. ESPN New York. Now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2. New York.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Get home safe and quick. We've got the Rangers home over at MSG. The way things are looking out there on the roads, you might want to consider using mass transit. Otherwise, avoid the east side of town. FDR northbound looks like a crash over by Gracie Mansion. You're backed up into the 20s. Southbound FDR just packed, heading over to the Brooklyn Bridge from the Triborough on down. Nets are home at the Barclays in Brooklyn. We still have this crash on the outbound Gowanus right after the Prospect. That is you jammed on the westbound BQE heading over to Atlantic Avenue. Delays go back into Queens. Heading over to the outbound George, all of your approach is pretty bad aside from the Henry Hudson. Deegan northbound, they picked up that collision over by Fordham Road involving a flatbed 18-wheeler. Still not moving much. Heading over to the Cross Bronx from the Triborough and the Bruckner. Inbound George 10 to 15 for the upper deck. Outbound Lincoln already an hour. We've got a new stall in the tube. Outbound Hona 30 to 40 minute ride. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
The NBA moves fast, and the stars move faster. With DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 sportsbook for live betting, you're never a step behind. DraftKings keeps pace with every play, offering industry-leading live betting, dynamic odds that shift as the game unfolds, and more open markets more often. They're live when others aren't, so you're always in the game when it matters most. Get in on the action with live player props as the most exciting performances unfold in real time. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code WHSQ. That's code WHSQ. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problems gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, Kansas, pass-through of per-wager tax may apply in Illinois. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Restrictions apply.
When you're vacationing in your RV, there are some things you can always count on. Taking the kayaks out on the lake, hot dogs on the grill, and your sister's boyfriend pulling out his acoustic guitar.
Everyone quiet! Harrison's playing. Wow, you're so good, Harrison.
With Progressive, your RV is protected 24/7, so you're prepared for whatever you don't see coming. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
Every March, are brackets the only thing you can think about? Do you have symptoms such as constant bracket obsession or moderate to severe bracket-related distractions? You may be living with bracket brain. Thankfully, there's ESPN Tournament Challenge, the #1 proven way to treat bracket brain right at the source. So this March, download the ESPN Tournament Challenge app, fill out your men's bracket, and get you and your brain in the game. ESPN Tournament Challenge. Play the #1 bracket game. Presented by Allstate.
This is an ENN Special Report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports.
Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Good, grand, wonderful. You bet your ace. Welcome to ENN. Thank you, Don.
Ray Rowe.
Brought to you.
Ever watch YouTube?
Sure. Brought to you, of course, by Ramsey Mazda. I'd like to start off ENN by saying good evening to Alan.
Can she play for the Knicks? Because they're struggling with that.
Yeah. Noel. Well, can they lower the foot to 2 feet? And to Alan and myself again.
Something was violated.
Well, maybe my nuts. And to Don.
And I got dumped.
How dare you try to take money out of my pocket? I'll win the Super Bowl, man. Let's go.
And to myself. As of today, Don is eating my nuts. And to Don.
Look at me at Ramapo, actually doing a read.
And to Don.
ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery to...
Oh, come
Yeah.
on. No, come on.
That
No,
felt like the
No,
you
you're
know when
better
the
than
tape gets a little like
Just
the
a little
cassette
bit.
tape?
A little bit of a reach. But that's nothing.
ESPN New York is teaming up with Calandra's Bakery.
Did you?
It's nothing.
Right. That's The tape got messed up. Now you're worried that the tape now is all wound up inside the tape deck. That's a mess.
I used to have a thing.
Those are problems
I used to have a thing that used to drive me nuts. I don't know if anyone can even understand this. When I would record all of my radio shows on cassette,
I did too.
Occasionally, the first 5 minutes of the second side of the cassette would get that warped sound where it's like you in and out, and it would get low and then high. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, sure.
What was that from?
I don't know.
It would only be basically when the tape flipped that it would happen. It would always be on the second half.
Yeah, I'm not sure why.
And then I'd keep fast forwarding, like, I can't listen to it until I get to the part where this is done doing that.
Now, if the tape came out it unthreaded, right, that would happen sometimes.
I know.
How would you get it back in?
Well, on a cassette of mine from a show I recorded, for example?
Yeah, or just any cassette.
Well, very often when that happened, unfortunately, it meant there was a twist, too.
Yeah, you got to take care of the twist.
But I couldn't always take care of the twist.
If some reason it can't, how do you?
It just came out. I take my finger.
Right.
Pencil.
I was finger, not pencil.
You know what you do? You take, not that this is like a billion years ago.
Talk about waste of time.
You take the cassette.
Yeah.
And have the tape pointing out. Tap it on the table or the palm. Just keep tapping it, and it'll go right back in.
Naturally.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't even have to use your finger.
Nope.
Wow.
Now you're
Good to
laughing,
know that
Jacob.
now.
Is Jacob laughing? He's like, wow, 7 people understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Well, you know what? I'm an old man. And one day you're going to be old, Jacob.
No, that's not why I'm laughing.
They're laughing at my finger talk, and I didn't even mean it that way.
Listen, I got dumped.
He can use he don't use his finger, he uses pencil, so that was a great thing.
As of today, Don is eating my nuts.
He was just trying to, he's trying to change it up.
Sure.
But
Keep them on their toes.
I just looked at that warping and fluttering sound that cassettes make.
Yeah.
It usually happens because inconsistent tape speed, often stemming from worn, stretched, dirty belts. So if you ever had that issue, it's because of usually that or the cassette wasn't tight enough on.
So I wonder if it's because the belt you mean on the actual tape recorder.
Yes.
So I was probably using the same stupid thing to record, and it screwed me.
All right.
Sorry to hear that.
I don't know. You go on social media, which is a cesspool.
Why'd you do it? Why are you doing it?
But this is what makes it worth it.
Go ahead.
Is when they use AI to entertain you. And somebody, this guy Tom Spence, has placed, when Rodney Dangerfield's dancing on the golf course.
Sure we do.
In
Caddyshack?
In Caddyshack?
Yeah.
Placing him in dance scenes of other famous movies. It's friggin' hilarious.
And it works out beautifully.
You're
a big fan.
I'm going to retweet it so everybody can enjoy.
God bless.
And the other thing, too, that's disturbing, too, with the AI is when they have, I saw at Ferris Bueller's Day Off, the actors then interacting with the actors now. And when they do that, sometimes, if they're dead, they put little wings on their back.
Yes. Yeah.
It's silly. It's nice to know every significant actor from Ferris Bueller is still with us.
Thank God.
Wow.
See, there's been a thing going around these days that you may or may not have. I'm guessing Alan may have seen it and not Don. There's a thing moving around on social media with celebrities, usually older celebrities, and they show a picture of either themselves now or them and their kids. And it'll say, Mom or Dad, what were you like in the 90s? And then it plays Iris by Goo Goo Dolls.
And
it does a flip through of their parents, of the parent in the 90s. You're seeing it with 90s celebs. Brian Austin Green, I saw one, and Tatiana Ali from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, her with her kids, and then the one that just sends you to the floor is the Bruce Willis one. Because they show Bruce Willis now, and then you see him in the 90s.
Man's man.
Dude, just came off as Bruce Willis managed to come off as a cool, tough guy without ever coming off like a jerk. He just came off as a cool, tough guy.
He wasn't obnoxious, but he was also snarky.
But
he was
and
only
funny.
Snarky, it was an appealing way. But he was always a protector, and that's why he didn't come off as obnoxious.
No,
because he protected.
Not aggressive.
He was I'm here to protect the weak. I'm making you uncomfortable because you're making us uncomfortable.
Right.
That's the kind of guy he
that was the vibe.
That was his character.
Is he the greatest action actor of all time?
You mean actor-wise?
Because I say this because other ones are cheating, right? Jean-Claude Van Damme.
No, they're not actors.
Seagal.
They're not actors.
Even Arnold Schwarzenegger. They're
really
all
actors.
just they happen to be Like
Stallone?
Stallone would have
real actor.
But
he did.
But Bruce is on a different level acting-wise. Range-wise, I'm taking Bruce.
But
Bruce and
Sly
Sixth
would
Sense.
be in that.
Oh, I know.
But
that
fact
wasn't an
is,
action movie.
They had a cheat code. These were guys that were weightlifters, or they were kickboxers, or they were karate. So it was just natural for them to be able to do those things in a movie. Bruce Willis was never really cut. He was never big. He didn't.
But you're asking the question. You said best actor.
Right.
The people you just named, up until Sly, which we can have a conversation about, though I don't think he wins.
He enters the chat.
But the rest of them they're not even actors.
Yeah,
right.
No, I agree.
Even Arnold, God bless him, he got good in a comedic, funny, you're not a great actor.
But it was always awkward.
But it worked.
But even if they were great actors.
I see what you're saying. They'd have a cheat code.
They had the cheat code of doing something special. Like everything that Bruce Willis did, he had to act. He didn't, like I said, he was never really that big or strong or anything.
But the reason I'm pushing back on you is don't even give him the cheat code. What Van Damme or Seagal movies are you putting up against the diehards? Nothing. Get out of here. This is an all-time classic. This is a man who has all-time classics under his belt. At this point, Van Damme and Seagal movies, they're niche. Those are niche 90s.
No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? They didn't live the way Bruce lived. Yeah. I mean, his movies went on and on. Now, Sly is interesting because he's got the big action movies, a couple of them that are iconic. I mean, Rambo's big time.
That's one of the biggest ever.
Big time. And then, of course, he has the other stuff that goes with that. Now, Rocky's a sports movie, not an action movie. It almost walks right on the line, right? But Rocky 4 and 3 are kind of action movies.
But he still felt in order to sell it, he had to get cut.
Yes.
And it would, the big muscle thing. Like Bruce didn't have to do that.
No. And Bruce was in good shape.
Yeah, but
he wasn't jacked up like.
No, he wasn't jacked up like Stallone.
No, that's not what made him a thing.
Right. What you liked about him was very similar to Denzel in a lot of his movies, is that he used smarts as a weapon.
Right.
He was like slick, quick thinker, quick-witted, never panicked, never got rattled, made a joke in the moment of crisis. That's what you loved about those characters beyond the, when things got hot, I just punched him in the face. Or I pulled out, the Uzi and just blew everybody away.
Right.
That's the difference between acting and we just love to see the firepower of, again,
it's funny,
what Arnold was.
Denzel doesn't end up in an action conversation because he's above it, kind of.
Yeah, but
he's got his share of.
I love the Equalizer movies.
Yeah, he's got his share of he was the hero action guy.
Yeah,
a bunch of them.
And it was always, again, just being smart, being quick-witted, like the things that every man can relate to versus, you're just bigger and stronger than everybody.
But if you want to cry, Don, some of these 90s things.
Are they? Yeah.
And I like that
don't
song,
don't show him to Anthony, of course. He doesn't care about the 90s, so reminiscing on it won't make him emotional at all.
He's already checked out.
He's gone. I was finger, not pencil.
Good for you.
It's too late for the tournament, folks.
Keep it natural.
It's too late.
Not too late for next year, though. It's always next season.
Don't forget, though, guys, coming up Friday, right?
We're doing it Friday? Before a live audience?
Are we unveiling on Friday?
I don't know. Are we?
No, I don't think so.
Or are we unveiling next week?
It should be.
I think next week would be the time because it's after Selection Sunday.
Why wouldn't we do Matchup Monday or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah, maybe Monday's the day?
I think Monday, everybody's in, actually. I think there's no Devils, there's no Knicks.
There you go.
So that means we're in.
Bad.
Oh, boy.
I got to divorce my wife and have my kids bleed out
No.
because the Giant game's on.
No.
Otherwise, I'm not a real fan.
What Peter's doing is very sneaky, and I do appreciate it, though. Because what he's on is the ENN page. ENN page.
Yeah,
the Drop Madness page.
Yeah,
what he's not telling you is where they are or what their seeds are.
I'm just reminding people of some fun things.
Take it off. Take it all off.
To me, that is one of the great Richard moments of all time because the point of the drop is remove context, right? Isn't that's what Don and I fight about sometimes because he's like, no, you're taking out the context. And I go, that's the point, is taking out the context. I don't even know. I missed the day. Although Richard got 2 things from that phone call that are in Drop Madness.
Correct.
2 beautiful women died. I'll give you them quickly.
I think Richard's in Drop Madness 4 times.
Wow.
And then he also, in the same call,
take it off. Take it all off.
I mean, it's like he's at a strip club. If Richard one day, we heard he lost his mind, and they said this guy Richard from Manhattan, a dentist, has completely derailed. He's running around Manhattan running roughshod. And it's like they found audio from him. He showed up at Scores and just showed up and started screaming. Oh no, wrong drop.
We caught Richard a little randy that day. He was feeling it.
Do it in my pants.
Yeah, he did something in his pants.
But listen, we're doing what we do. I guess I got in late, I was finger, not pencil. All right, folks. The New England Patriots have agreed to sign former Packers wideout Romeo Doubs to a 4-year deal worth up to $80 million, according to Shefty and Jeremy Fowler. I don't want to leave either of them out, Schefter and Fowler.
Both.
As I call them, Schowler. The Lions have agreed to a deal with Isaiah Pacheco.
Not Fefter? You want to go with Fefter?
No, that doesn't sound right.
I like it better, though.
Now they got Pacheco and Jahmyr Gibbs in Detroit. People are getting back on the Detroit bandwagon. Don, I might be back to, you know what? That's how I'm going to find my way back to greatness in the make Peter's picks great again next year. I'm just riding Detroit again next year. I'm back.
Now, Anthony just told me in my ear that the Giants signed Jason Sanders, kicker, from the Miami Dolphins. So I was like, let me take a look at his stats. He hasn't kicked since 24.
Perfect. Great.
So what happened last year? He must have been hurt.
What connection does he have to Harbaugh?
No, he was in Miami his entire career. He's only 31. Looks like he's a pretty good kicker, but I see no stats beyond 24, so he must have been hurt last year.
So this is the Giants you're talking about?
Yes.
So real quick, they got the punter, so they shored up the holder, but now they've just signed another suspect kicker.
Well,
so we got the holder.
He's not suspect when he's healthy.
No,
but he hasn't kicked since 24.
Can I get someone that can kick the ball forward? All right,
let's start there.
What about not hit the ground?
Not kick the ground.
With your foot.
Stage one is did you make contact with the ball? All right, you didn't move aside.
Yeah.
These made contact.
Who here can make contact with the ball and their foot?
But it went sideways, so you're gone.
All right.
All right, now we've got guys that can kick it forward. Now let's kick it in the air.
Can you make it more than 10 yards?
So they had like 50 kickers, and they're down to Jason Sanders. But he didn't play last year. Anthony, I think, is working on the details of what
he had a hip injury, so he didn't play.
There you go. Bang.
Yeah, so he missed
You don't need your hip when you kick.
Travis Kelce was on Pat McAfee's show.
Well, sure he was. What closet did they stick him in?
Well, he was on the phone, I believe, or Zoom. But he talked about being affected by Taylor Swift's work ethic. This is right up your alley, Don.
We share the same love for what we do, and we've had this, fortunately, we've had this desire since we were kids in our selective professions, and it's amazing to see her keep going to the table, keep finding new things to write about, keep finding, new melodies and things like that, and on top of that, still seeing her have that love and joy in what she does. And yeah, of course that's motivating. That's motivating for anybody to see, let alone, my fiance, and knowing that I'm going through something where I'm trying to figure out exactly what the hell took so long. Something like that definitely motivates me to say, you know what, I'm not done either. You
don't find this interesting?
Not at all. You?
No.
That's why I cut it.
Well, and I also found out that he was on Zoom.
Yeah,
but was in one of the other
Zoom
closets.
in a closet.
So they showed him come out like he was still there, but they put him on Zoom.
Let me be the first one to say, I fully understand why Travis came back and is coming back for year 14, and I'd also like to say it's a bad idea.
Listen, if he wants to play, let him play.
No. I hear you. I'm saying I understand it. I fully do. Last year did not go how you wanted. They went out.
They're loading up.
They're going to try to give this a good shot for sure. Over the last 2 years, when you see the way he plays, there's something not there.
You don't think training camp after a honeymoon? You don't think
when do they get married? Idea? We have a date?
June 13th. Yeah.
Are they true?
Of course, it's the 13th.
Of course, it's a big day for Tay-Tay.
That's her number.
So,
don't you think you'll just see more Noah Gray though? Like it'll just be a Noah Gray offense, and Kelce will be.
But what's the point
in the red zone? Well, he's still. If he wants to play, you're not gonna be like, you know what, we're good.
The red zone's his favorite. That's his favorite place to punch the ball off his hands into the arms of a defensive player.
Oh wow!
I'm sorry, it happened like 3 times last year.
It was not good last year.
But you know what? If the Chiefs still want him and he still wants to play, I'm not going to begrudge him.
I don't begrudge anybody.
But look,
but it's going to go bad.
When your wife works harder than you got to raise your level.
But
although she can keep going, she didn't have to retire.
But what hurts about
her last tour made $230 million or something,
give or take.
I think what hurts a little bit is that it seemed like if they had won the Super Bowl 2 years ago, he would have retired.
He gone.
I think so.
So are you doing it for the love, or are you chasing after one last ring?
It gets
that's
blurry,
a mistake.
but that line gets blurry, doesn't it? Where you it's kind of both.
But
you still have to want to do it.
I know. But
I think he does want to do it.
You can't go from if we win the Super Bowl, I'm going to retire, to now I'm going to play 2 more years. I understood we'll give it another year, and then now you don't even make the playoffs. You're trending in the wrong direction. I agree that they stack back up and you get a healthy Holmes, although it's still iffy whether he'll be ready week 1.
John Holmes.
No,
Larry Holmes.
Was he ever really healthy? Either of them.
No, who? Last year? Or John? You mean John or Larry Holmes?
Well, John's no longer with us.
No, I mean, I don't know how healthy he was. He was healthy in some regards.
Well, listen, he was given a little more than I think most people could handle. And Larry,
hold on one second. I got to drop for that. Hold on. I was finger, not pencil. All right.
It's not pencil. It's more.
It's a more ruler. No, it's more like those like overdone pencils that they sell to kids, the big thick pencils.
We can't run out of time.
I'm big on the organ.
We can't run out of time before we get to this tweet.
Go ahead.
Best tweet.
Give me the tweet.
We were just discussing it during the break.
Which tweet we were discussing? I got distracted.
Say the gentleman's name for me there, Don. You're an announcer.
No shot.
No, come on. You can do it. I believe in you.
Yashwaneth.
Yep.
Manjuath.
I like it. Perfect. Okay. It was a brilliant tweet. And it said this simply, as for all Jets fans who are like we got a call about how this is awful, this is terrible. Geno Smith has 2 4,000-yard passing seasons in the last 4 years.
Oh, this tweet, yeah.
The Jets have had 0 4,000-yard passing seasons
since
in the last 49 years. And I'll add this because we looked it up to see if this was true. How many 4,000-yard passing seasons have the Jets had in their entire godforsaken history?
I don't even know.
Want to guess, Jake?
I would say 1, if none.
1 is the answer. You want to guess who that quarterback was?
Friend of the show?
Friend of the show.
Is.
Oh, Joey Namath.
Broadway Joe. In 1967, not the Super Bowl year.
John, Peter, thank you. Alan, I hope you make the team.
Thank you, Joe. Working on it. The only one to come anywhere near it, just to sniff it.
Sniff him.
Fitzmagic. 2015. He got to 39.05. Aaron Rodgers,
here we go.
3rd on the list, believe it or not, 2 years ago at 38.97.
Yeah.
I mean, are you kidding?
No.
That stat alone. Hey, everybody, as much as you hate Geno Smith,
welcome.
He's done something that
you dream about.
You've never had a quarterback do.
Clown show. Clown show.
Think about that. In this era, Don, you don't have to be that great a team to get to 4,000 passing yards over the course of a season.
Well,
but not
the
that
Jets
great
haven't
a
been able
team
to
is what they're trying to strive for.
Oh,
plus
God.
Jacob did something I think that maybe has never been done in the history of Joe Namath.
What a stat.
Joey?
I never heard him referred to as Joey Namath.
Joey.
Ever. I'm not mad at you, Jacob. I'm just
it's something new.
Why did it take so long for somebody to finally go there?
Joey.
I don't know. I just thought I went out on a limb.
Yeah, it felt right, didn't it? In the moment, it felt right.
No, maybe it felt right to him, but I heard it. It was jarring.
Jarring. You thought was there another Joey in Jets
Joey
history?
Namath.
It sounds very weird. It
Our
just
pal
doesn't go.
Joey. How many other Joe quarterbacks have we had in Jets history? Let me see.
Joe Flacco.
There you go.
No,
Where?
Joe, I called
Joey.
That you go. Joey Harrington.
They didn't have Joey Harrington though.
Oh no, I think he meant all-time Joeys.
Is Joey Harrington a strange pull?
He's getting there.
Is he?
Was he the first? He was the first overall pick, right? At Oregon, right? Did he go to Detroit?
Detroit.
Yes, I don't remember from where.
How about the list of quarterbers from Geno to Geno for the Jets?
We did
that was something.
We did that early in the show. It was
Yeah,
great.
All right, thanks for listening.
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh man, I thought. You know what I thought Anthony was doing? I thought he was hearkening back and being
No, he
like, remember when Peter did that great thing earlier and I read all the quarterbacks?
Wait, Peter said it?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that explains
No,
it.
Yeah, you checked
that was
out.
basically him saying I wasn't listening, and this is too good for any of the three of them to say.
Yeah, these yo-yos wouldn't have found it.
I sent it, so I know it wasn't read.
Nobody's more excited for 6:30 than Anthony.
Now, before we get out of here,
Never longed for a Ranger Flame game more in his life.
I saw Alan. I saw
great.
a trailer the other day for, and I'm not a Star Wars guy, as you know. I saw a trailer for The Mandalorian and Grogu.
I saw it in the theater.
Yeah.
The trailer, me too.
Yeah.
It's just
we're beating it to death.
I'm like, this is still happening.
I was like, this is dope.
What is
you
this?
ran out of ideas.
It looked like a sketch. I was like, this isn't a sketch. This isn't real.
No,
You're going to see it.
I will not.
Not
no,
you.
No, he's talking to me.
Oh, of course he has to.
But
it's like it's cute, but then it's like goes on so long. You're like, what is this?
You're not wrong. It just becomes like, wait, didn't we just do? This is what we're doing with the Star Wars.
Grogu needed a whole movie.
I love our company.
Oh, we love our company.
But
hey, I saw it watching another Disney movie, Hopper.
Yeah.
But it almost seemed like let's just make Yoda look so
cute. It was
cute.
like let's give Jar Jar Binks his own movie. That'll do it for ENN, brought to you by Ramsey Mazda. Get more for your money at Ramsey Mazda, like a new 2026 Mazda CX-50 or the CX-90. Choose wisely. Choose Ramsey Mazda.
Oh, that was a fun show. We're going to do it again tomorrow.
That sure will.
And we'll have lots to get into then. We'll have a list because it's Wednesday, so I'll get to working on that tonight. Up next, Rangers and the Flames from Madison Square Garden. Talk to you again at 3 o'clock. Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
We expect our information in real time. U.S. Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood